Hello, my internet fans. It's me, Statboy Mike, and I would like to welcome you to this week's installment of Throwback Thursday. The Casa D18 Studios Channel continues to sort through the archives of the Jeff Meacham Network, the Simple Man brand, JH95 FTW, NoDQ.com, and the Casa Channel in order to bring you classic content that you may not have seen in a long time, if ever. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's Throwback Thursdays offering. I love you all. Statboy out.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Button Master Stable Wars entire playlist. AEW Revolution Go Home Week, Dynamite and Rampage watch parties. Mistress Audio dramatic readings featuring voice actors from Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Elimination Chamber retrospective. All WrestleMania-themed retros by Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Let's Play series. WrestleMania 19 Revenge Mode Let's Play series. All of a Simple Man's brand Simply Predicting panels. Both episodes of The Don DeMarco Show. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. The entirety of the NASCAR Thunder 2004 Let's Play series. Past and upcoming Jeff Meacham Network watch-along coverage. FTW Productions watch party for WrestleMania Go Home Raw. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Casa D18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news. ATW View Impromptu. WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy, Episode 7, our favorite WrestleMania matches. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from J. Hebert Studios.
The following program contains strong language that is not suitable for young children. Viewer discretion is advised. In 2019, Michael X won the Wrestling Rundown Championship, taking the world by storm. But then, the virus attacked. These men promptly escaped from mental insanity by talking about the nerdiest shit on the internet, filmed in the Massachusetts Underground. Today, still wanted by the people of YouTube, they survive as nerds, weebs, and dorks of fortune. If you have an obsession, if no one else can talk, and if you can subscribe to them, maybe you can hire the Indy Force.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I got a cat.
Pussy! Jinx!
Yep, that's how we're opening up, guys. I have a cat. This time of year.
I've got two. You might see them at various points throughout the.
If I start seeing random text typed into the chat in fucking Skype, I'll be like, yeah, it's the cat. Specifically the black one.
Because she loves my keyboard for whatever fucking reason.
It must feel comfortable on her head. He goes or types in random text.
Hey, you asked
I got a cat. He's legitimate. Oh my god, stop it. You're on my speaker now. I love you, bud, but come on.
Speaker? I barely know her.
Thank you. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen,
Speaker.
welcome to the Indy Force episode number 9. An official episode this time. I'm your host, James Hebert, along with the rest of the gang. And holy crap, did our extra do gangbusters. So we very much appreciate you enjoying that. And if you want more extras, let us know. Maybe we'll do some. I'm sure that's going to be a once-a-month thing. Very rarely, probably, considering. It's really going to come down to if it's something to celebrate or if it's essentially, I don't know, like some breaking news thing that just happens out of nowhere and we can't wait to talk about it, so we have to do it then. So, unless one of those two things happens, they're probably going to be very rare and sporadic. But if you do like the Indy Force, do what you did last time. Smash that like button, comment down below, make sure you're active in the chat as I premiere this show. You're seeing that right now, obviously. If you're on the chat, awesome.
it makes it a lot easier for content creators, and I think a lot more content creators should premiere their episodes, except for playthroughs and shit like that. Because
those should be live.
Feedback, and we get some questions, which is harder to find than you would possibly imagine. So why don't we kick this off, though, as we usually do with most episodes. We're going to be talking about wrestling as we usually do at the start. AEW is requiring athletes to do weekly medical testing, and sadly, the World Wrestling Entertainment Company has not, and we're wondering.
And that is sadly not a surprise.
No.
Yes, well, they should be, but they're not going to because fuck you. We need more money.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, are we really shocked? Really?
I'm not shocked, but it's just
Vince McMahon seems to have forgotten that you need to spend money to get money.
Yes. I'm glad AEW is finally doing it. I think it's really important. I think that they should be doing it. I wouldn't say daily, but at least in like a 3-day span.
Every week, I think they're doing it.
They should be doing it like at least 2 days before a show, or at least a day before a show, and then checking on the day itself, just to make sure that
it's starting with Double or Nothing this upcoming and our current live episode that they're going to be doing this week. Which, by the way, they're going to go back to live. They're not doing taped anymore. All their taped shows from Georgia, as it was at its like worst, they're going back to being live. So I'm sure that's going to be controversial. But if they're going to do actual testing, I'm perfectly okay with it because people do need to work at the end of the day. You're not going to have an economy if people aren't fucking working.
Agreed.
So long as they take the proper measures of what essential workers have been doing, which is exactly what AEW seems to be doing here. I'm totally okay with them going live. I'm totally okay with them eventually even doing stadium shows. They're saying their next up and coming stadium show with live audience, which would be the first time since I think March, like mid-March.
Yeah, at some point mid-March.
In Florida, because Florida is going to be opening, which I don't know how I feel about, but like on one hand, I miss the crowd. On the other hand, it's like
this is clearly not over yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what though? I would rather have the ability for them to go, okay, now we have the time needed to do more stuff.
Right.
At this point, we're able to show
more. Personally, I would prefer them to be able to go, okay, we have safety measures in place. We have a way that we can bring people in and still keep social distancing. We have a way that we can test people to make sure this shit doesn't get in. Let's bring some people in.
Well, here's the problem. They're not going to be able to do that. If you're gonna be in an arena, there's no way they're gonna be able to follow the social distance law.
Well, okay.
The only way,
actually, there is a way to do it. It's called you do half arena size, and
that's it.
Out.
That's it. You would have to have everybody like 3 seats apart from each other.
That's fine. I would rather see an arena at this point with optimal level of getting everybody in as much as possible, but also being mindful of how much space is needed between. I mean, honestly, it's 2 seat lengths. You don't need 3.
Mm-hmm.
That way you optimize space and figure stuff out. Plus, you could do everybody in triangular patterns going all the way down to the front row. So that
might be all you can do at this point. It might have to go down from, I mean, a sellout at this point is literally going to be 8,000 people.
That's fine.
That's going to be the only, like, at least AEW will finally be able to sell out a show since their TV debut. Yep. But I just wish it wasn't under this circumstance.
But you know what? I would rather have them be, okay, we're going to be very cautious. We're going to take everything into account. And we're going to make sure that everybody that comes in is good enough to actually watch the show. And the people that are wrestling are okay as well. Because we can't have anybody come in that actually has the infection because that completely fucks over every option. That's how most horror movies begin, for fuck's sake. It's a stadium event, somebody has virus, game over.
Here's the other thing, and this is why it's been scary for other people. Right now, at this current juncture, you could also have it and not even realize you have it and be a carrier of it.
True.
So that's another concern. So even if you do all that testing, you could do it most likely for the athletes, because I assume they're going to have the proper measures. But you're not going to be able to get every fan, even if you do the proper social distancing, to test and be able to be in that arena without it being a serious hazard to the rest of the people in the arena.
I say
I don't know.
I would rather see the attempt than none at all, and not do what WWE did,
which is basically give up.
We have huge ass arenas, and there's nobody fucking in them, and it's like, what's the point? The AEW was able to do it and get away with it with specific factors of not being around for 100 fucking years.
Baby faces on the other to make it work.
Yes, they were able to actually do things.
They at least had an ambiance of some form of crowd. So and I'm sure those everyone was tested there before they actually went there.
You know what I'm going to call WWE at this point, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Fresh.
This is Grandpa telling you a story wrestling. That is exactly. I think your folks at home. That is exactly what it has become. It's not interesting. The characterization of most people has become the same fucking thing. And the problem is when I'm here tonight in front of all you fine people, a brick wall, a brick wall, a brick wall, and the entrance ramp, cameraman Steve, character. Like, there's no. By the way, I want to drop some quick stuff on a front that I did learn today. Jeff Hardy wants to do a cinematic match.
Yeah. I'm done with the cinematic matches, bro. I'm already done. You know what the sad part is? You know what the sad part is? If the Boneyard match was that good, why was Gallows and Anderson released?
Exactly.
That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. And even if that did split people's perceptions on what the WWE could do, they're already overkilling this gimmick.
Absolutely.
Now that's what they're going to do now is cinematic matches, and they're going to kill the concept dead like they did with every.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the new cinematic match by Jeff Hardy?
Oh no.
We're gonna do, and I can't fucking understate this. I'm gonna make sure that I have my information up here. Okay, here's what it is.
Before you start, will drugs be involved in this?
I mean, it's Jeff Hardy, so it's like a 6 for 30 shot.
It's Jeff Hardy, so drugs were definitely involved in the creation of this idea.
Listen, it's a 60-30 on the fact that he'll definitely be on drugs, and that 10% is in case if he's on 2 drugs at the same time.
And bonus points if those 2 drugs are cocaine and heroin.
Wouldn't shock me. Or cocaine heroin. Or heroin cocaine. He wants to do a motocross match.
A what?
Motocross match.
In other words, dirt bikes.
Can't wait to watch pro wrestling fucking Excite Bike.
Okay, when I first heard that, I thought they were going to use jet skis to fight.
No. It's gonna be motocross. It's gonna be fucking.
Yeah. If you're talking about jet skis, that's aquacross or watercross, depending on.
You know what? I
don't want it. I want it. No, I don't want to do it. He talked about it on Corey Graves' podcast. I don't care.
You know what? I realized something.
What'd you realize?
Jeff is gonna die doing something stupid because he's retarded.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't feel bad for him.
James, I made a comment to Casey, and I was.
This is how he got injured. Was via a motorbike accident. He was out for like a whole year when he was with Impact because of a fucking motorbike incident.
No, but let me put it like this, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
When did WWE become 1999 to 2000 WCW? Can I explain what I mean by that?
5 years ago.
Can I explain what I mean by that, if you don't mind?
Explain.
Back in the day, for those that aren't interested in the Monday Night Wars. If you're not, then that's fine and that's fair. If you are somebody that enjoys the nowadays scope of wrestling, or if you like the classic stuff, you can. Back in the day, and this is prior to 1999. I just want to give the example of this is the worst year for WWE. Way back in the day, Hulk Hogan has a match with Paul Wright, also known as the Giant, a.k.a. the Big Show, a.k.a. the largest athlete in the world, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
They had a monster truck sumo match.
Yeah, fuck, yeah, that's exactly what this is.
They collided monster trucks.
Just replace the monster trucks with fucking Excite Bike.
And it ends with Hulk Hogan throwing the Giant off the roof of the stadium that they're on. Yeah. So he's dead in Canada. He would be fucking dead. That kills the person.
But because he's a Giant, he survived and fought him for the belt and won it with the help of DT.
He just don't worry about where he landed. That's not the important bit. The important bit is that for some reason WCW thought, you know what would really get the kids to watch? What if we did monster trucks?
No.
WWE's doing that now, going, you know what would get the kids to watch? Motocross. When the fuck was the last time you watched anything motocross related?
WWE at this point is becoming the X Games.
Yeah. When does if we're doing
I'd rather watch the X Games.
Dumb shit. When does Darby Allin get his fucking mega ramp where he does coffin drop halfway? Oh, actually, that'd be pretty fucking radical.
That would be pretty sick. I'd watch that.
And it works with the gimmick. Why, out of all the people, would you let? But if they let this happen, he wants to do this. I want to put that out there. He wants to do this, and he wants to have his.
Correction. Jeff Hardy wants to die.
Let me cause more potential pain for myself so I can keep relapsing to the drugs that keep getting me in trouble.
He is both retarded and retired.
Can we please
fucking
force him into retirement? Force him into retirement.
Isn't this because his last match?
Jeff Hardy is dead. No one cares. I don't care. No one wants to see this man do this shit anymore. Have him retire, for the love of fucking God.
I know if you're WWE, you don't let it happen. Just don't. Listen, it would be one thing if you said, we want to do a ladder match. We want to do an Inferno match again because we want to do a whole thing with Kane and do something with Kane. We want to do whatever. As soon as you bring outside elements that make no fucking sense to appear on a professional wrestling show and make the fan go, is this on paper? What? When? What?
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to watch this on free
TV.
Fuck
that.
Dude,
I don't care.
It will
be. Wrestling. Give me investments of storylines. Give me character development. Give me shit to sink my teeth into.
And to say this, I saw a comment, I guess you could call it, I'm not going to really call it a comment, but a discussion that was talked about on one of the Discord pages that James and I and Casey are on, where we promote WYW and at least try to get that show out there because we want to provide extra content. I know people enjoy what they like. Hopefully, if you enjoy the show, please let us know.
Right.
So this is the discussion I saw. What is your wrestling pet peeve? And I think I finally found mine. When it's no longer wrestling and we're focused on dumb, stupid horse shit that has nothing to do with having a match. These are two great examples. Let's grab monster trucks and let's grab, I don't know, motorbikes. Oh, and let's have a ring in water where if the opponent gets thrown out of the water, they land in the water and the water explodes. That's real. That's WCW.
They're doing these now.
It's stupid.
And the only reason they're going to do it is because if they don't, they're going to lose Jeff. And because they see.
At this point, I don't care if Jeff walks.
Jeff Hardy. You know what? I'm gonna just do a quick search. How old is our boy Jeff Hardy now?
I think he's in his mid to late 40s.
I would probably guess so. He's been wrestling since he was 16. Sorry, 16. Lying about his age to the company that he still works for, by the way, which I'd be fucking heated at him about. Jeff Hardy here is 42 years old and looks like a 50-year-old man. He looks like shit. He does. He looks like shit.
He's put his body through so much shit and so many drugs because of that, and a lot of that's his own doing. But I don't want to see it anymore, and I'm sure his family is fucking concerned. Beth especially must be.
This isn't even the stupidest idea he's ever come up with, being stoned off his ass. Do I have to remind everybody of it's Willow?
I knew at one point you were going to bring that up.
Oh, I have to bring that up because that's what he's like on drugs. You want to see that gimmick? That gimmick is just fucking a nightmare. It's a terrible design. It's just a terrible idea.
And you want to know the sad part? Matt Hardy got clean of drugs and came up with a character that was similar to that.
Well, delete Matt Hardy is the most fantastic thing in the fucking world.
That gimmick had That gimmick had no business being as good as it was.
Casey, I'm going to counter your point. It absolutely did. Can I tell you why? It's the most original thing wrestling has had in it for the past 10 years. Yep. It's the most original conceptual design for a wrestler that we've had in the past 10 years. It absolutely has every right to be as good as it is. Put an example. We've had Willow. We've had fucking how many wrestlers in WWE are just dude in fucking singlet and or tights who comes down to ring and has match, or has here's my backstory that nobody gives a fuck about, or my profession, I actually did this. How many of WWE's nonsense is it just this is my backstory? It's a tragic backstory.
Yeah,
that sounds like a lot.
You were a little pushover kid.
Yeah, it's fucked up. You know what? Let's move on from Jeff.
Yes.
Although I guess that's a new clip there. Just retire, please.
Just listen, Jeff. As an individual that's been watching you since fucking the Attitude Era, do us a favor. Just stop. Yep. Just sit down. Look at the wall. And if the wall starts talking to you, go back to rehab.
Yep.
And finally...
You know what? No, here's the thing. The only way he gets clean is if he stops wrestling. I'm convinced of that now. I'm convinced that that's the only way he's ever going to stay sober and not fucking relapse.
As we've talked about.
I'm done giving them chances.
As we've talked about on multiple podcasts at different times and different moments, we've talked about how good the Broken Matt Hardy gimmick is. James, you have a shit ton of videos just talking about that gimmick to begin with. But here's the problem. Jeff was megastar, but when later in life he was the same shtick. Here's Jeff. I climb up to the top of this structure and then I jump, and that's about it. That's every single fucking Jeff Hardy match. Where Matt, and I'll say it, he is the more technical and more responsible brother than Jeff. 100%.
And as a bro, at the end of the day,
you should have put all your fucking chips on him.
I'm done giving him chances. And by the way, the one thing I will defend WWE on. Hey Jeff, WWE does not need to help your ass when you keep putting yourself in the same situation, you daft cunt.
At some point, Dark Side of the Ring is going to have to cover the Jeff Hardy whole debacle.
Are they also going to talk about the time where the company decided to fucking say that his brother burnt his house down and killed his dog? As part of a storyline?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not saying that's innocent in that regard. Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, Jeff put himself in a lot of these fucking situations at the end of the day. And you know what? There was a point, and I felt sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him anymore.
No, I mean...
That's how ridiculous it's gotten. I don't feel sorry for him anymore. He chooses to still wrestle, which means he is choosing to go back and relapse because he has no idea how to cope with the fucking pain. That's the only way he gets clean. Because clearly he's not responsible to not go back and try to cope with the physical pain with that shit. That's what it comes down to, people.
If you want the horror stories of Jeff Hardy, just watch TNA.
Yeah.
Literally, go watch TNA where this fucking idiot decides, I'm going to go fall on these stairs from about 20 feet off the ground and then knock myself out and not be able to continue the match, or have literally the worst wrestling match in history because I was so fucked up that Sting beats me off of a roll-up pin.
Keep in mind that was after, and this proves my point. This is after his series of matches with Ken Anderson, where he took the worst bumps I've ever seen a wrestler take, and he was giving the move to Ken Anderson. That tells you all you need to know. This guy's a fucking dumb shit.
But anyway,
and he
just
puts
to point out
himself in
before
this
we move on.
situation. I can't feel sorry for him. I cannot feel sorry for him. Can anyone else feel sorry for him? Honest to God.
I feel sorry for buying this piece of shit.
Dude, that is censored. That's ironic.
Not anymore.
There you go. Yeah, the Jeff Hardy DVD.
It's terrible now that I look back on it.
Oh yeah, because when you realize that his entire career is drug addiction and just mental problems, it's more sad.
Because he did all those stupid spots.
Listen, I get in your profession that you have to get yourself over. But as I've said, and I'll say it again, I would rather watch Okada versus Omega than watch Jeff Hardy fight Umaga.
Yeah.
It's a better match. Oh,
you know what's sad?
Almost kills himself. What's the fucking point? If your athlete's dead, guess what? You have no athlete. He's fucking dead.
You know what the sad part is? Matt knew, and that's the thing. And I think this is ultimately why I think he left WWE, because WWE was having him still be Jeff Hardy, have Jeff Hardy be Jeff Hardy, and he was doing dumb shit, stupid stunts. He even knocked himself out in Hell in a Cell in his match with Randy Orton. I can't watch his matches now.
No,
without wincing. I'll watch them, but like even the TLC one, which is a fucking classic, I can't watch it without wincing, and like just looking at it and just like, fuck, like all the damage that he willingly put himself through for what?
Jeff Hardy's life has been not an easy one. He's been training since he was a little kid, and that needs to be said. He is a phenomenal athlete, and we just want him to stop being a drug-addicted moron.
And that's the main reason I'm saying it, honestly.
Who constantly...
I think he needs to retire, because that's the only way he will be clean. And
exactly. And I agree with you, and I bet... Case, you agree as well, and so
absolutely.
do you.
Quick question before we move on. James, Mike, do any of you happen to know whether Jeff Hardy was clean during his brother Nero run?
No, absolutely not.
I think he was relapsing even then. Although he was clean after that first relapse, and he wasn't taking nearly the amount of bumps he usually would, and a lot of the bumps he did take were a lot safer than the ones he did prior.
So that was promising?
However,
it was pretty much like WWE is just like they only know the Hardy Boys, and at the end of the day, while I can give WWE shit for that, at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that Matt, and I think Matt even realized it, and that's why he fucking left, because it was a lost cause with Jeff. It was a lost cause with Jeff. Like, what else can you fucking do? At the end of the day, he cannot protect his brother from his own stupidity. That's it. And that's why he left WWE, ultimately, I think. And that's one of the reasons he won't reveal on the Talk is Jericho podcast or in any other incarnation, kayfabe or otherwise. He will not reveal that that's the reason. But I guarantee you that was a motivating factor, because he was sick of babysitting his brother. Dude, if I was in his shoes, I would be too.
Jeff Hardy's downfall is just a result of his own self-deception.
Right.
Everyone saw this coming, and yet, you know.
Dude, Rebby Hardy, who's a savage on Twitter, by the way, said it best. Called out Beth Hardy, called out everybody in that on that side of the family because she gave shit to Matt, or no, because Beth Hardy gave shit first, by the way, to Matt Hardy for not being there for Jeff. Why does he have to be there when he fucks up? It's his responsibility at the end of the day. I understand certain things you cannot help. Certain things. That's a whole different story when it's you putting yourself in this situation. Jeff Hardy could have backed out. Jeff Hardy didn't have to recommend the spots that he did during his time, his second run with the WWE. Or, I'm sorry, his third run, right? This is his third run?
It's his third run.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Actually, hold on. WWF, independent circuit, back to WWE, back to TNA, Ring of Honor, back to WWF.
Hold on. Casey's not online anymore. Something happened with his computer. What happened?
It wasn't my computer. I was just being a dumb shit and tossing a remote around. Happened to land on the back button on my mouse.
All right, don't do that.
That's something.
So he had 2 runs or 3 runs?
He had 3 runs.
He had 2 runs. He had 3 runs. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this
Casey,
is
if you hit the side button on your phone, you'll be able to turn that off.
I was hitting the side button. It wasn't going, so I just hit.
Don't worry about it, man. Yeah. So if you count his 97 to 2003, before he got the drug problems and got kicked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Went to TNA in 2004 after being on Ring of Honor in 2003 in an independent circuit. All the way to 2006. Came back in 2000.
They both kicked him out, by the way, because he was drugged out.
Oh yeah. Came back in 2006. Stayed till 2009. If you could see, he has 3-year patterns. Starting here. Goes back to TNA. Goes all the way up to 2017.
He was in TNA, but it never should have been like a 6-year run that he had.
Yeah. Well, actually 7, because remember he leaves.
Yeah,
TNA.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm
then goes back to Ring of Honor, back to WWE in 2017, and is still there now.
Or until the pay-per-view when he announces his retirement match, which, to be honest, you gotta
over a quick thing. If you don't mind.
I don't want a retirement match. Retire now. There, I said it. Fucking sue me.
Listen, I'm gonna say this now. Jeff Hardy has been charged in July of 2019 for public intoxication.
Yeah, he can't even drive.
October 3rd, 2019, a couple months later, was arrested for driving and being impaired behind the wheel. 2011, he was jailed for 10 days, had 30 months of probation, had to pay a $10,000 fine on top of going to jail from October 3rd to 23rd to October 13th. And in 2009, was caught trafficking prescription anabolic steroids.
Oh, wow.
In his house, having Vicodin, Soma, and cocaine.
Didn't he get his driving license revoked after his recent arrest?
Yeah.
And he cannot get it back, by the way. He can no longer.
I would never let that
fucking longer drive, basically.
He will never drive again.
And
I wouldn't trust this guy riding a bike.
I wouldn't trust this guy walking down the fucking street. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and that's another thing. He wants to do, but I'm pretty sure that's illegal if you do not have a license. I'm pretty sure.
Next question: how is he going to do this motocross challenge if he doesn't have a license?
I'm sure he thinks he'll find a way, but unless WWE wants to, you know what? I'm surprised if WWE lets him fucking do it at this fucking point. And at that point, I will be shitting on WWE because that's just dumb. But you cannot do that at all, especially if you film it. They're gonna fucking arrest him immediately, and they're not gonna let him go for I think that's a 10-year sentence if you do shit like that. You can't do that. You can't drive anything without a proper license.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you want to drive those fucking kiddie ATVs, I don't know how that's gonna be entertaining television.
Listen, I'll say this: we've talked about Jeff Hardy. James, you and I have talked about Rob Van Dam. He's a big stoner. but you know what? He's still a good worker. We've talked about X-Pac and his fucking terrible heroin addiction that he finally got clean of. We've talked about Scott Hall and his alcohol problems. We've talked about...
Notice how Scott Hall knows that if he goes back to wrestling, he'll go back to relapsing. Notice how he's not wrestling anymore.
Because what's the point? He already has... He has like one of those... Well, because Scott Hall has a shit ton of money. Yeah. And on top of the fact, how many times has our boy Jeff here gone into the church to get married, then to come out of the church, and then like years later come back into the same fucking church with a different woman? I'm just saying, dude. His idea of commitment just doesn't fucking work. If he can't maintain a relationship, that motherfucker can't maintain his actual drug addiction.
Dude, his ideology of a commitment resembles that of a 15-year-old boy in high school.
You're not wrong.
Like I still don't know how.
I know this is like everyone. I know there's going to be a lot of fans of Jeff Hardy that are probably going to be like, "Why don't you give him a chance?"
No,
we've given him plenty of fucking chances.
He's been
How many chances have we given him? We've given him chances in two separate stints in the WWE. We gave him that. We never should have given him a chance after his fucking thing with TNA.
James,
don't even get started on that debacle. But we still let him. But we still were like, okay, let him wrestle. He does it again, and you're telling us fourth time's a fucking charm? No, fuck that. Retire, or I don't feel sorry for you. Plain and simple.
My good sir, he's been wrestling since 1992. He was a part of the Hardy Boys in 1998. It's time for this old dog to go to bed.
I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
It's time for him to go to bed and have a nice lengthy retirement, because it's getting to that point now where I don't hate Jeff. I hate the fact that he is a drug-addicted moron.
Yeah. Oh, true.
I hate what he becomes when he's the drug-addicted moron. Now, it's only because of the major fact that, spoiler alert, I had to pay for the fucking pay-per-view where he decided to take the goddamn fall on Sting. Or should I say, stumble around the ring and sit in the corner for about 10 minutes against Sting. I had to pay for that pay-per-view. And I will tell you this right now. The day he retires, I'll consider that a down payment. I'll say, you know what? You had a nice long career. You did everything you had to do. You have some of the most memorable moments in wrestling history. But it is time for your ass to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm done.
So we're going to cut this topic here. To get back to what we were originally saying, AEW is actually doing medical testing for their athletes where WWE isn't.
Yeah.
And to prove that example, Jeff Hardy is the biggest fucking example of WWE never doing anything medically testing with any of their athletes.
If you want, Nikos, you can read that article, or I can read that article, either way.
Sure. Just give me 1 second.
Now, for the record, this comes from WrestlingInc.com, so... Good,
and they're very good sources. I'll say that they're very good at keeping their information on top of things.
Yeah.
All right. So, AEW to administer medical testing at upcoming TV tapings. This was posted on WrestlingInc.com by Mark Middleton. AEW is set to have on-site medical testing when they resume live TV Dynamite TV taping from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, next Wednesday. Excalibur, Jim Ross, and Taz revealed the news during last night's AEW Dynamite post-show on YouTube, which you can see above. It was noted that every person who enters the building will be subjected to these medical tests. I quote, "That's sometimes that we insisted upon by our management team," Excalibur revealed. "If we are going to resume these things, we need to keep everybody as safe as possible." End quote. Right. There's no word yet on if AEW will be testing for the actual COVID-19 virus. As we've noted, WWE has required medical tests for their TV tapings at the closed set performance center, among other safety measures. Those tests include fever checks, weekly forms that ask questions about potential exposure, and more.
Well, hold up for a second. They claim WWE claims that that's what they're doing. what has already been reported by the Wrestling Observer and other places is they're literally only taking their temperature and having them do a piss test.
That's not how that works.
That's how they're doing it, though. That's not how you do it.
AEW's
doing it a proper way.
Great. I'm glad that this multi-million-dollar company is doing the equivalent of a fucking TSA fucking check if you have drugs up your ass.
Yeah.
Could you spread them open, sir?
Now
it's just shit.
AEW, from what I understand, the way they're doing theirs is, yes, they're doing the temperature check, but they're also doing saliva spit checks.
They're doing full body check. That's what
they're doing full body checks. They're making sure that they're not coughing. They're and just all the they're making them do the questionnaire as well. But they're doing more than what WWE is doing, and WWE is a multi-billion-dollar company. Or, I'm sorry, was a multi-billion-dollar company with the amount of fucking shares they've been selling now. But anyway, continue, Nikos.
Cork leads with national audiences, which covers AEW and WWE, were allowed to operate as essential businesses in the state of Florida, but they must follow certain guidelines to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. You can see the comments below the site.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm hoping we can get to some form of normalcy so long as they're doing the proper measures to make sure everybody's okay.
Listen, I trust Cody and I trust
Tony Khan.
I trust Tony enough to be like, you know what, he's smart enough to not. He's smart enough to listen to the younger generation that's underneath him and go, okay, maybe they're right.
You know what the thing about it is? As risky as it is, and I'm not saying it's smart. They probably shouldn't be doing it for all intents and purposes.
I say they definitely shouldn't be doing it.
But I at least appreciate that you could tell the wrestlers are probably pushing for it, whereas in WWE they don't want to do. They don't even want to show up for work. There's a huge difference here. I think it's a collaborative effort by everyone in AEW that they look, virus be damned. We got to do this. We got to provide something because we're passionate about this.
Exactly.
And that's more than I can say for WWE here. And again, as I said, I don't blame them. Why are they going to show up for work if they're not even going to be listened to from a creative standpoint? Never mind their health. Now, is their priorities a little skewed? Probably. That's a whole different debate. But if you let wrestlers have creative freedom, wrestlers are some of the most passionate motherfuckers on the goddamn planet. They will not let anything stop them from fucking working, even if it's in front of their own peers.
Hell, you and Mike aren't even wrestlers, and I can attest to that about you two.
So,
I'm sorry. What was the quote? I'm sorry, Case. Could you repeat that one again?
Yeah,
my brain fucking
so Mike can hear that.
Turned right off.
He was talking about wrestlers being stupidly passionate about what they do.
Yes.
You and James aren't even wrestlers, and I can attest to that same passion about you two.
And I would say the same with you as well, good sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed. I think all of us do. But at the end of the day, we know, even if we're not actual wrestlers, we know the passion it takes.
I mean,
virus be damned.
Kind of, sort of.
At the end of the day, I cannot blame them, especially with the hot streak that AEW's been on. Even during bullshit that's been happening.
Because they're
still providing good shit.
Providing content. They're not fucking sitting there with their thumb up their ass. They're going, okay, so here's what's going to happen from this point on, all right? I understand that there is some problems going on in the world today. Here are the things that we are going to do to kind of wean things out. And then as soon as we can come back, we're absolutely going to come back, and we're going to come back as strong as we can. And then we're not going to stop creating content for the people at home, which will lead me to another topic later on. Remind me to put a pin right on that for later. Actually, I have a pin right next to me. I could put a pin right on that. Those are pins right in there, though.
But anyway, talking about AEW and kind of going on that topic.
We finally gotten the first matches for Double or Nothing.
Yes.
Go right ahead, boys.
So this article was posted by Ryan Clark of eWrestling News. Although I'm pretty sure multiple people have reported it since.
Yes, I just want to go with the more obvious news source that had more of a background of what the hell was going to happen.
Continue with what you were saying, Case.
I'd like to read this one if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so this is, you guys already mentioned, it was written by Ryan Clark. It comes to us from eWrestlingNews.com, and it says, as seen during Wednesday night's AEW Dynamite broadcast, Cody Rhodes vs. Lance Archer will take place at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view event. The two men won their respective matches on Dynamite to advance to the finals in the TNT Championship Tournament. AEW Double or Nothing will take place on May 23rd. While it was originally set to take place in Las Vegas, Nevada, there is no word on if that will be possible as of this writing. It's more than likely the event will take place from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, with no fans in attendance.
I think Daly's Place is going to be their home for a while to come here.
It's a lot better home than the Impact Zone.
Yeah, at least it's spacious. Last time I think they were in Daly's Place was, technically speaking, the match that aired between Jake Hager and Jon Moxley. Question for you, because this is a good idea. This was actually a good idea by WWE. I'll give them credit here. On NXT, and not that I saw it, but on NXT, they had Morrow and Beth and Nigel from different various locations. I think they were at their homes, calling the show from their homes. And what they did was they recorded their audio with professional sounding mics, and then they kind of sent it to the audio producer, and then they kind of mixed them all together. Should that be what AEW does here?
I wouldn't say have them do it from their homes, but I am a fan of the concept of at least keeping them far enough apart that if should the coronavirus happen to get in the building somehow, there's at least enough space between them that they don't catch it.
Yeah, I think that it needs to happen that way for now.
Because James, as you and Mike can attest, doing commentary over the internet, basically, even in post, is a fucking nightmare.
Well, because you can't connect. Okay, I would rather be in a room with you and Casey, James. I would rather be in the room with you, Casey, with James as well, and be able to do commentary next to somebody that we're able to feed off each other.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm able to go off of what Casey's saying. I'm able to go off James is saying, and I'm able to sit there and say, these two have it. I'll be able to sit back for a couple minutes, breathe, grab some liquid hydration. It's no longer Mako poisoning. I got it out of my system. It just took a couple episodes. Got to keep the cannon. Speaking of which, I bought a cannon. But it's more the fact that was so fucking dumb. It's more the fact that when you're doing commentary, and I know there's a lot of people out there going, commentary is like the easiest thing in the world. Not if you want to make sure that it makes fucking sense. You need
and flows.
You need all your commentators to have a specific. I don't want to say this word, but I know I'm going to have to. Cadence. You have to have a specific way of saying things.
Yes. Very true.
Yeah, AEW. I can't wait. I can't wait for this to.
I can't wait for Double or Nothing. I'm buying it for sure. Because, again, I'm curious. Curious how they do it.
I just hope that they don't do the WWE strategy.
Since we're on the topic of Double or Nothing, we know the first match revealed is Cody Rhodes versus Lance Archer. I think we kind of discussed this on the last episode. Who do you guys think is taking the match?
It's probably going to be
I think we already did a coin flip between the three of us that it's going to be Archer. It was 50-50. Even before the semis were announced, we knew it was going to be Cody and Archer in the finals. So we chose between those two, and it was a 50-50 shot. And we, I think, tails Archer, and it landed on Archer, so it's Archer.
Yeah. You got to let chance decide some things. If chance is wrong, then chance is wrong. But
yeah, no, I think honestly, I would like to see what Archer can do with the TNT Championship. I don't think Cody needs. I think what Cody needs is a revenge storyline more than anything else. I think Cody needs to just go fucking nuts. Maybe even develop a somewhat new persona while not straying away too much from his own that he has now, and go back on his word to get the AEW World Championship from MJF. And you know it's happening because MJF's going to take that belt from Moxley, and then that's naturally going to lead to Cody at the next All Out. Not this one, but the next All Out to get the championship. And I'm hoping by then, you know, it'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, and it will be in front of his hometown. That would be amazing to see.
Now, by the way, anybody else find it funny that they ran a tournament that leads into a pay-per-view event?
Yeah, that's very odd. It's like they got that idea.
Sounds kind of familiar.
Fuck you, pay me. Stop it.
I'll tell you what.
Stop it.
I'll tell you what, AEW. We will accept compensation in the form of free buys for the pay-per-view.
No, we'll accept.
No.
Buys and free shirts. I want free shirts for a year.
No, it's whatever. I've already said.
I'm tired of wearing this shit. Okay, I get it. I'm Luco Lucky. Fucking.
We jest, of course. We jest.
We're kidding.
Oh, and really quick.
Obviously, again, if they're taking ideas from us, great. I'm happy.
And really quick, so I don't forget. I know Martin's probably going to be in the chat on this when this episode comes out, so I might as well do this.
Yeah.
I got something from him that went, I don't believe that you're the voice of Michael X.
And you go.
And I reply with, are you out of your fucking mind?
To which he shits his pants.
That's why I put that in there, so that way there's some video proof that voice comes out of me with no editation, no nonsense. James, I swear to God, if you put a fucking filter effect right before I say this, I'm gonna be so fucking mad at you.
I'm just gonna zoom in on your face. I'm just gonna zoom in on your face now.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's just an example. Speaking of pay-per-view / company nonsense. WWE has gotten support from Florida governor.
Yeah, because why not?
What the fucking do? That's why they're going
to... probably didn't even mention AEW either. Even though they've been doing more business for WWE than freaking NXT has ever.
AEW just...
As if Florida...
Go to Florida.
As if Florida wasn't stupid enough. I have a friend down there. I have a very dear friend down there who... a couple of you might have met, who lives down there, and she says, "Holy balls, I want out."
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I tweeted at her. I said, "Hey, Massachusetts could use a few smart people." Hint, hint.
Honest to God,
Florida is like Massachusetts resting home.
Look, at the end of the day,
Governor Ron DeSantis, that's his name. Sorry, I had to look him up really quick just to make sure that we have all of our facts straight. Decided to the citizens of Florida that the citizens of Florida's best interest is in the WWE being an essential business.
No, it's not.
Okay, listen.
Dude, all right, look.
To Governor DeSantis.
Count NXT, sure, but even NXT.
No, it's not wrestling is not an essential business. It's a pastime like fucking baseball. It's what you put on the TV when you're sitting there going, you know what? There's football, there's baseball, basketball.
I'm gonna tell you.
I want to watch wrestling.
I'm gonna be pissed if they do a double standard by trying to get the AEW out when they're doing their show.
If they have the balls to try that. Okay, so let me just say this really quick. So Ron DeSantis, 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 or DeSantis, whatever your fucking last name, who gives a shit? Decided that because of the COVID-19 situation, we need to make sure that everybody can watch their entertainment. Ron, do you know what wrestling is? No, I'm not talking about, your college wrestling, where you have obviously the one gay kid on the team that's constantly touching the other guys in the crotch area in order to get the most powerful dick twist. You gotta hit.
Every collegiate wrestling team has that one male.
Every single one has somebody that wants to hit a pile driver but can't because it's not that type of wrestling.
It's a different type of wrestling. In fact, it's not pronounced wrestling. It's wrestling.
It's wrestling. So, yes, we know Vince McMahon is in Trump's cabinet.
That's the only reason.
The fact that your fucking stupid ass went, you know what? Wrestling is.
But no, he's not even just saying all wrestling. Now he's saying all sports. Because they're going to be opening up
all
sports for fans.
I
guarantee you, he only said all sports to cover his ass.
He said all sports to cover his ass.
No. Well, no. I'll tell you why it's not just all. It's not just WWE. Although Vince, I'm sure, started this whole thing. To be honest with you,
I need you to stay open.
Clear.
The only way to gain more power. I need more money.
Vince is not the only one in Trump's cabinet. Fucking baseball, football, hockey, basketball,
Dana White.
Yeah,
boys, you're not understanding. I need you to get it from my perspective. If I do not get the chance to watch a single inning of baseball a night, my hair gets too poofy. It is the only way for tired little old me to have the ability to sleep and make good nights. Now, Jimmy,
channel if you're
that's
sick
the point.
baseball games.
Yo, as much of a dick as he is, that's the point where even Vince goes, "Damn it, Don, you're a Hall of Famer. Is that not good enough for your nights?"
I'm sorry. I'll say this. I don't want to take anything from Vince and Andy McMahon for the fact that he goes, you know who we should put on our wrestling show? I don't know, Vince. Who should we put? We should get that new comedian, Drew Carey.
I forgot that he's in the Hall of Fame.
He was the first fucking major. He had a whole storyline with Kane. He had a whole storyline with Kane.
That's disrespecting it.
Sorry, he had a whole schmoz with Kane where he goes, "Here, take this money," and Kane goes, "No, thank you, but no. I'm the good. I'm the bad. I don't know what the fuck."
At the end of the day, I don't support WWE doing this. I don't think wrestling should really be essential, unless, of course, it's in front of like no fans, whatever. That's fine.
God, what the fuck is Ring of Honor doing?
But again, I think it's just it's frustrating me because reality is there's two different sides to this, and you look at the AEW side, they obviously want to work, and they obviously want to make that show feel good.
These guys are willing to fucking... You know that these guys are willing to fucking actually go out there and perform even with the conditions of what's going on right now because they talk to people that gave a shit.
Yeah,
with the WWE employees,
WWE wants to work
contract
because of the creative freedom and is just absolutely stifled. And at the end of the day, that's why I will never support WWE over.
Name how many people WWE has let go in the past couple months.
How about the fact? Oh, here's another one. How about the fact that they literally have pretty much blackballed Roman Reigns because he chose his family over being creatively stifled in his own fucking health.
Now, if I was Roman, Roman,
let me read their statement. They don't have to work if they don't want to. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Didn't he say the exact same thing about the fucking... Didn't he say that to Rob Van Dam when they did the Tribute to the Troops thing? And he goes, yeah, I'd rather not go to another country and get shot at. I'm fucking good. No, thank you. I'm good. And then they go, well, okay, Rob. I mean, you do what you want to do, but you really should come.
Yeah.
No, I don't care if Vince is telling.
They actually did that?
They fucking forced. They were going to force him to go, and he went, fuck that. I'm not doing that crazy shit. Are you out of your mind? Listen, I watched my kid go play in the fucking sandbox. I am personally not getting on a plane to go travel 27 miles or 27,000 miles to go to some fucking random desert in the middle of nowhere to wrestle my ass off in 115-degree weather. You're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, no.
Especially in a location. Especially in a location, and I'll say this right now, in a location where a lot of entertainment that is in WWE's circle of things is not allowed, including, do I have to go over fucking Saudi Arabia? Do I have to do that?
No.
They're wearing full body suits.
Whole dictator prince? Hell no.
How about the fact that they've already produced that a lot of that figure from the Saudi deal is actually bullshit, and Vince just inflated it just so we could get more, make up the difference in the stock market?
Oh, absolutely. Dude,
how about we bring that up? How about we bring up the fact that Vince is a dishonest prick, and at least Tony Khan's honest that we need to continue and because we're a new company and we don't want to lose any momentum. Listen, at least he's fucking honest. You know what? Even if I don't agree fully with it, I at least respect his honesty than somebody fucking lying.
Like, hey, we need to make money because all of us have families and we all have kids and we all fucking want to be able to provide for our families and kids, so we want to continue doing what we're doing. That's honest. Saying, but we are an essential business. Take your head, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, in your fucking $1 million airplane and shove it right up your ass. Just put it right up your ass because I don't care anymore.
None of us do.
Roman left, and I hope Roman, if Roman hears this, I'll be shocked.
Continue, by the way. I gotta go eat dinner real quick.
I have not been an avid Roman Reigns fan. I've not been an avid WWE Roman Reigns fan because of the fact that Roman in WWE is intolerably bad. He is terribly written. He is terribly designed. He is not a good character. However, Roman Reigns as a human being and as an individual... Continue, Nikos. My apologies.
I mean, I was just going to say, the way he was booked for most of his career, leading up to getting hatred, it's insane.
He was trying to replace Cena, and it wasn't going to happen. You can't replace the big guy.
True.
Instead of turning Cena heel and doing the obvious thing of having Cena do a lot of scumbaggy, shitty things, no, instead what we're going to do is keep him face for almost his entire career, all the way up to his retirement. Make him into the new Hulk Hogan. And if people want to deny that, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. He was literally the new Hulk Hogan. His face was on fucking everything. And I know somebody's going to say, but so was Austin. But Austin's gimmick wasn't fucking, I'm the nice guy. I'm the superhero. I'm the cool guy that you want to be friends with. Look at me in my fucking, my Air Jordans, in my jorts, and wearing t-shirts with logos on them. Dude, I wear a forward cap, but sometimes I'll turn it backwards. That's pretty legit. That's fucking wizard. Congratulations. You're a 90s joke. When Austin first came out and hit the scene, he was the most impressive thing in the world because he was the first character in wrestling history that finally broke the mold and made it feel like it was actually real. That he was tired of his fucking boss, and week in and week out he made his life a living hell. Roman's first major promo is suffering succotash. They gave him a fucking Looney Tunes line. They gave him a carny-ass Looney Tunes goofy line. That's a Bailey line. That would say Bailey when she had a fucking inflatable, wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm-flailing fucking tube men joke. The fact... I'll fucking cut brass tacks and I'll get straight to the point.
Yeah.
And if you are listening to this, do yourself a favor and go to AEW. But what you should do... and it would be the smartest thing. Write down every possible storyline WWE's ever attempted to hand to you that you rejected or said no to. And then go, here, take a look at this book of shit. Now, how do we take that shit, polish it, refine it, compress it, and heat it, and turn it
into a fucking diamond?
How do we do that?
Watch AEW. Watch their method. Because they actually do their research. They don't
fucking do storylines. that the athletes would be uncomfortable doing. Can I give a great example of that?
You may.
And the best example is with John Moxley, a.k.a.
Dean Ambrose.
A.k.a. John Moxley. CZW Heavyweight Champion John Moxley. AEW World Heavyweight Champion John Moxley. I had to put both in there because you could consider them two separate characters, but they are John Moxley.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Hello.
Yep. Don't worry, you didn't miss really too much. Are you eating fucking cereal?
No, I hate cereal. It's a HelloFresh remake meal, but it's really good.
Okay, cool. Fuck, I just lost my point.
Something about Moxley.
Yes. So Moxley was getting scripts from WWE. Now, I'm only paraphrasing the story. If you want to know more about it, you can absolutely find out the original interview that he did when he was talking about this.
Wasn't this on Talk is Jericho?
Yeah. I believe so. It was probably on Talk is Jericho, but it's probably appeared in other things, but he's also talked about it numerous times.
It's on Talk is Jericho, I can tell you that from...
They would hand him storyline after storyline after storyline, and one of them, he just said, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it the way that you told me to do it. I'm not going to do it that way. And, of course,
the whole joke about making fun of Roman
Reigns' leukemia, yes.
Yeah, he wasn't going to do it. He wasn't going to do it. When you are a part of a triple tag team, one of the fucking most iconic three-man teams in history, the Shield is one of the most iconic fucking three-man teams in history, and the fact that you're going to take one of the members and another one of the members, and you're going to have them talk about one of their fallen athletes and fallen brothers, and they're one of the major components, a part of their team. That's like, I'll give an example. You have Marsh, you have Brady, and you have Brewski. Now imagine Brewski disappeared and, he got his concussion and had his seizures and was all fucked up. And Moss started making fun of him to go heel. Yeah, that doesn't look good on your company. It just makes you look like a fucking idiot to write that in story. It's one thing if you want to do tag deception, things were going on, and all of a sudden there's a heel turn, and because his friend actually got something in real life that fucking ruined him, we're going to turn him face and have him come back with something that's more important.
At least it's not as bad as exploiting a wrestler's death.
Oh, no. That will always be the worst fucking storyline ever. The fact that they decided to do that way.
No, Nikos, but it's pretty damn close.
It's pretty damn close, because if he died, it would have been the fucking worst day in their history. The fact that let's put it in a cosmic bubble, right? In a cosmic bubble that we'll keep for right now, of the hypothetical question of what if Roman Reigns died and they kept the original script for Dean Ambrose to say? What if Dean just...
That would be horrible.
Would look absolutely terrible, and it would have ruined his fucking career. He would have never been able to get work anywhere else in the world for the fact of the words that came out of his mouth. And the fact that he agreed to a storyline like that. Speaking of tag teams, by the way, I'm glad that we started getting into that little subject.
Yeah, right.
I did get a fan question that I wanted to get out there, and there's two of them. Number one, favorite tag team of all time. You can pick any tag team from any location. What is your favorite tag team of all time?
Oh, man.
That's a lot of fucking ground to cover.
Yeah.
I'll make it three. And I'm going to base it off the WWE eras because it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Classic, Attitude, Ruthless Aggression. And I'm not doing past Ruthless Aggression because that's when it starts getting into
kind of shit.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question. Are these strictly two-man teams, or can we go into stables?
I would say save that if we decide to do that for a later video.
Okay.
All right.
Save that for a later video.
Sure.
My top three in no particular order. The Revival, or now known as the Revolt. Because I really like their work with DIY mainly.
So good.
Fucking fantastic. And they were shafted by WWE, and I'm glad they're gone.
Are they in AEW now?
They're going to be. It's inevitable at this fucking point. I guarantee you they're going to be coming up in the next few weeks. The next team is the Dudley Boys because of the fucking Dudley Boys. They've had some of the greatest matches in history.
And death drop, son. And some of the greatest heels of all time. You can't fuck with Bully Ray. Come on, man.
Not just that. No, you're underselling. You're underselling the fucking Bubba, the Dudley Boys, all the way in ECW, where they were the most heel that they've ever been.
For a perfect example of this, go watch Heatwave '98 in Dayton, Ohio.
If you want a better example of this, watch the night of Broken Neck.
With Beal and McGillicuddy.
Yeah, that's
brutal.
That's not how you treat a lady. You don't hit a lady. You break her fucking neck.
It's incredible. That is one of the best story beats in all wrestling history.
You know what the thing about it is?
Better heel move than that.
I love the Dudley Boys for the simple fact of they have. I looked this up before. And while my number one is always going to be the Road Warriors, number two, obviously, the Dudley Boys, because they have the most gold over any other tag team in history. It spans from ECW to WWF to, TNA. They even won the WCW tag belts when WCW merged with WWF. So they held those. They've held every single promotion's title other than AEW, really. They've even, I'm pretty sure at least one of them won an ROH tag title. I think that was when he was teaming with the Briscoes. Bully Ray was, and I was actually there for it when he lost him live. And so was Casey. So they have won titles from every company that you can imagine. And yeah, I think that alone, that they're like my second favorite tag team. If I had to pick my first, it's the Road Warriors because they have, I think, the second most tag titles.
The most iconic.
Yeah, it's just iconic as hell. Iconic entrance theme, iconic.
We will never bump for anybody. Fuck yeah. It's incredible.
I'm so sad. I lost it right at the end.
Yeah. But it was good.
That was so fucking good. Yeah, that will always forever be my favorite tag team of all time.
And not without reason. Not without reason.
Casey, you're up next.
Okay. Well, since you assholes kind of picked all my tag teams and I want to shine the spotlight around a little bit, all right. I'm gonna pick, in no particular order, the Blackjacks, specifically the originals, Lanza and Mulligan.
Yep.
I'm gonna pick the Outlaws, Dusty Rhodes and Dick Murdoch.
Yep.
And I'm gonna pick the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
I'm going to pick the Hart Foundation, Jim the Anvil, and fucking Bret the Hitman / Owen. Then you have, of course, for I guess I could say my Attitude Era tag team, E&C, Edge and Christian. You'll never get a better tag team.
Oh, that's true.
And honestly, my last pick, the one that I have to go for, is, if I remember correctly, I think it's Kenny Omega and
Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, I think it would be Kota Ibushi. It's been a long time since I've seen any of their work.
The Golden Lovers, man.
Dude, they're fantastic. Like, you'll never get two of the most fucking.
And you put them with the Young Bucks, dude.
Oh, what was his other two? Sorry, I had to take a call.
Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi.
I will be right back, boys. I gotta go do something.
What's your final one?
I just said it. Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. He picked.
What was the second one?
Picked ENC, picked the Golden Lovers, and then, oh god, what was the other one? Nikos, do you remember the other one?
He picked it. If he picked it, he picked it.
He did pick it. Yeah, I did.
Next. Who are your top 3 favorite teams of all time?
So for me, and this is going to be going out of order, but the first tag team I got into was D-Generation X. Those guys were just iconic from the moment like I saw those guys. Everyone went crazy for DX. Second is the Brothers of Destruction. I think just having the whole Undertaker Kane storyline as them being brothers was kind of a good story build up to their. I mean, did they ever win championships like tag team champions or
yep.
just
Brothers of Destruction?
Yeah,
I believe they did win it once or twice.
The first reign was against Edge and Christian.
Mm. And the third,
actually,
for me,
no, I could be wrong on that. I don't know if I feel like it might have been because I know that it was those two at Backlash taking on Triple H and Stone Cold, the 2-man power trip, in a winner take all, and I'm pretty sure they had the tag straps.
I see.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that they actually beat Edge and Christian for the tag titles.
True. And my third tag team, originally I was going to say the Hardy Boys, but after the whole discussion with Jeff Hardy, I said no. So instead, I'm going to replace it with the greatest technical team I've ever seen, the motherfucking Motor City Machine Guns.
100%. Oh, man.
Holy shit, those two rock.
Dude, I fucking agree.
James and I have had the honor of seeing them perform live before our very eyes. It is one thing to see them on television. It is completely another to see them live.
It's like
it was nuts,
amazing. Like, there's no words that can describe the way that they work the ring.
And on a personal note, I actually got Chris Sabin to point the guns at me. It was great.
Yeah, I was actually on shot with Alex Shelley in one of them. That was so cool.
Those guys,
Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin are the fucking greatest fucking.
I'm so sad Alex Shelley had to retire.
Right now, fuck.
Yeah, it's a shame, but what are you gonna do? I'm actually surprised Mike didn't choose Motor City Machine Guns because
you know who I'm shocked. You know who I'm shocked he didn't choose?
What?
I'm shocked he didn't choose Brian Kendrick and Paul London.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on.
Well, Mike, that was a thing. We just got over. Could you have imagined back in the day Paul London and Brian Kendrick versus the?
I think you boys are forgetting about the ECW's greatest tag team of all time. Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
We're just listing off teams.
Yeah, we're just listing off great teams at this point.
Hey, no, I'm just saying. Favorite company. Who wants to go first? Raise your hand.
Well, we can all.
Fuck.
We can all agree. We can all agree. None of us are picking WWE.
Oh no.
But can I say WWF?
Yes, WWF. You can say.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. I don't know about WWF because now it's like I don't know if it's to me it would have to be between two. They have to be Ring of Honor or AEW.
Fair.
A very close third is ECW, but just because of while they highlight a lot of awesome moments in there, I realized that it wasn't always perfect. And while I'm not saying AEW or Ring of Honor are perfect either, I feel like it's much more pure, like, athleticism.
Oh, great.
I love athleticism, you know what I mean?
True.
Athleticism with character development.
Next.
That's what I like.
Good, sir.
What about you, Case?
This might be a shock to some of you. I'm gonna have to go with Top Rope Promotions.
Yeah, fair enough. I understand that.
You may want to do a little thing called explaining to the people that have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, right? Because I'm pretty sure Nikos has never
It's
heard
not
of
like you can... Dude, it's not like you can go online and be like, well, I found Top Rope Promotions videos.
Although, to be fair, they are on YouTube. No, Top Rope Promotions, for those who don't know, is a wrestling promotion based out of Fall River, Mass. and Northern Rhode Island. They've been around for almost 40 years. They're strictly a New England-based independent circuit, which gave birth to talent the likes of the Devil's Reject, Brandon Webb, the Masshole Mike McCarthy, Miracle Mike Bennett had a run there. Jason Daniels, Flip Gordon was there.
Tommaso Ciampa, which is probably the biggest one out of all of them.
Yep. What's his name? Mike Russell?
Yeah, Mike Russell, yep.
And probably the names I should say, that most of you are probably likely to know. Matt Taven, TK O'Ryan, and Vinny fucking Marseglia.
The Kingdom, the second incarnation of the Kingdom. And not to mention also two more names you forgot about, Casey. Also,
Brad Hollister and Greg Hammertunis.
Yes, but also Biff Busick, a.k.a. Oni Lorcan.
Right.
And
Teddy Goods.
Former MMA fighter turned professional wrestler, Cold Steel Chuck O'Neal.
Who last I looked was their current champion.
Yeah, and I believe
and a no pun intended, stone cold killer.
Yes, I like that.
Stone cold heel.
Like it. So yeah. No, I understand that. That's fair enough. Nikos, what about you?
For me, this might be a tough one here. I can't actually decide which one is like my most favorite, but I guess to dumb it down, the one company that really brings out the hype for every fan, despite whether you United States, Europe, anywhere else, I would have to pick New Japan.
Yeah, it's fair enough, honestly.
You fucker. That's what my pick was going to be.
Damn. I'm sorry, but New Japan,
it's fair. No, you absolutely can pick New Japan. They're an incredible company.
I was originally going to pick World Wrestling Council, but given its history on it being that brutal, I figured, nah.
How about the fact that they're the promotion responsible for the killing of Bruiser Brody as well?
Oh yeah, that's how we even found out about it. And by looking back to it, I thought it was really kind of brutal. But I felt it was like more of an NWA kind of take. But afterwards, nah, it's too much.
Agreed. Yeah. Fine. If you're going New Japan, I'm going to go with probably the best star-powered version of New Japan, All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Understandable.
Fair enough. Okay.
Come on, dude. Masawa and fucking Tanaka. Come on. It's the greatest wrestling feud ever.
You know what,
dude? You know who you're forgetting that I think wrestled for both All Japan and New Japan?
Taka Michinoku.
Not even just him. Ryuji Hashimoto, man.
Oh yeah,
the original fucking dragon.
This is very true.
No, there's no. I as I said, I didn't put him on the list because of the fact of he's gone to both brands, but fucking.
Well, that's true.
Come on, we're talking.
Fair. That's fair.
That's the original Tiger Mask and the Master of Chops.
Japan during that time, can we just agree, was probably
fucking stacked.
You know what the funny thing is, and I realize this. New Japan and All Japan and then Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling were basically just better versions of WWE, WCW, and ECW.
Yeah, and WCW, I would say. So WWE of Japan would be New Japan. The WCW would be All Japan, and Frontier is always going to be ECW. Just the better versions of those three companies. Speaking of All Japan Pro Wrestling, Casey, you want to tell the boys what you finally got your hands on today?
Oh boy.
My boy Mike had me play a little bit of Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 Dojo while I was visiting him today. So much fucking fun. The only reason I had trouble with it was because I was playing with a keyboard. If he can map it to a controller and put that in my hands, I have no doubt I'd take to that shit like a cow.
I mean, at a certain point I'll be able to, for the simple fact of they sell N64
USB controllers.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be an option very soon. But I wanted to ask your opinion. Is it not the best wrestling game for the N64?
If it's not, it's pretty damn close.
I think it's fucking flawless, except for the fact that it's not in English.
Yeah.
You got to finally play Masawa. And you got to feel the character and feel the animation and feel how everything worked. But I can say this as somebody who's been playing a shit ton of it. It is the most interesting system for a wrestling game ever. As Casey saw today, I was able to show him the double finisher system. So you don't get just one finisher or two finishers just like in WWE. You have finishers for front grabs, back grabs, corner moves. Let's say you have the guy inside the ring, but you're on the ropes. You're able to pick him up or choke slam, power bomb, hit him with the tiger driver to the outside. And also you have a second ultimate finisher. And your ultimate finisher, if you're playing as a great example, Masawa, you don't just get the tiger driver 91. You get his Emerald Fusion and Emerald Flosion, or 12 gauge if you're a WIW fan.
Yes.
Which some of you out there might be. And if you are, we love you. Thanks for coming by.
Kudos on all y'all.
You know what I would love, and since we're kind of talking about, like, you know, these N64 titles that were fucking great. What I would love is, and I'm sure it's already been done with people who mod the game, I would love to see a modded version where they combine those titles and add like an ECW-like roster to it.
They already did. That already exists.
They probably did.
There's an ECW version of No Mercy. What I really want, though, is what's called Showdowns. Yeah, is something that is called Showdown 64. So Showdown 64, I'm going to go over just really quickly, as fast as I possibly can.
Yeah, because then we should probably take our first commercial break.
But I'll give the example. If you're talking about the Ultimate Wrestling game, we're going from Hulk Hogan era all the way up to AJ Styles now. With New Japan stages, WCW stages, WWF stages, ECW stages, WWE stages, WWF stages. We're talking about New Japan, All Japan, Frontier Martial Art. You have several WrestleManias. This is a game that you can literally have Hulk Hogan to Kenny Omega.
Nice.
Including the entirety of the Bullet Club.
Nice.
That's impressive.
Dude, we're talking about...
There's a lot of members. There's a whole.
We're talking about you can finally have a match between Scott Hall and fucking Prince Devitt.
I would love to do NWO.
You can have the American Dragon, Ding O'Brien, finally go one-on-one with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, the American Dragon going up against fucking the Dragon.
Well, I know what I'm going to do.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you how to do the whole process. It takes like no time to do.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how to mod it in yet. I haven't had the ability to test out how the mod works.
We're already past a time limit for this portion of the show. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. If you're enjoying the show so far, again, hit that like button, subscribe down below, and make sure you leave a comment on either the live chat or if you're watching this later, comment what you like today about this episode. We will be coming right back. We're going to be talking about Stranger Things Season 4 trailer, Keanu Reeves in the DCU and MCU, and as well as The Last of Us on HBO. And then we will take our second commercial break. But first, on to Mike with our shameless plugging and his epic voiceover guy.
A table from hell with the Psycho Asylum. An Iron Man match of factorial proportions. Man.
In this fight, I will melt you down to slag.
Versus machine.
I calculate a 0.85% chance that you will win in your current condition.
All metal mayhem. Calling Horizon.
When you throw me into the wolves, I will return leading the pack.
Vera McGarden.
I'll do anything to be the warrior on top.
For the Athena title, best friends turned bitter rivals. Johnny Star.
Don't get in the way of the star or you'll get burned.
James, the Archangel.
I'm the real star of this brand.
For the international title, the Outsider, Mark Young. The Executioner, Michael X. For the WIW World Heavyweight title, 2 out of 3 fall
inside
in a hell in a cell. WYW Immortal. Now available on YouTube.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, go. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. See? It's like a snap. Woohoo!
But it didn't work because
Thanos sucks.
And if you were to
I don't want to go, Mr. Stark.
Oh my God, Mr. Stark.
I'm pretty sure if Thanos were to snap, me and Casey would vanish.
God damn it.
No! Mike has vanished!
Oh no. Oh no. Mike, no! We need you! Don't vanish!
Wait, hold up.
Oh God, don't do it. Don't do it, God damn it, Nico. God fucking damn it. Oh, you fucking...
What'd I miss? No, Nikos! I'm so sorry.
I'm back. Tony Stark snapped.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, spoilers for Avengers Endgame if any of you haven't seen it.
It's a spoiler for the Avengers at this point. There is no spoiler. We all know how the fucking movie ends.
Okay. So, since I actually haven't read an article, so I'll read this one. Speaking of MCU and DCU, so it's a combination there.
What about MCU?
Yes.
We are the best.
MCU.
The pride of the West.
Oh, fuck off. Different person. The greatest incarnation of MCU and DCU. SCU. No, I'm kidding. So,
actually,
this is from Blast.
Comic Universe?
Blast.com. This is actually from theblast.com. Created by Jacob Hiley. That's a name.
Better than his name being Jacob Heine.
From March 31st of 2020. So this was reported on a while ago. But it was elaborated on. So, Keanu Reeves was, I'm gonna paraphrase there, trending right now. DC and Marvel are both trying to get him for their upcoming movie projects. I don't blame them either. There are a few people with such a legendary reputation. His face is practically magic in games and movies alike. Plus, it helps that he is so nice. His fan base adores him for being one of the most likable people ever. He is being considered as Ghost Rider and as a featured character in Doctor Strange or some other film DC is cooking.
Hey, Keanu. You're breathtaking!
You're breathtaking!
Get the fuck out of my head!
You're breathtaking!
You know what? I feel like Oprah now. You're breathtaking! You're breathtaking! And you're breathtaking!
Everybody's breathtaking. Hey, it's better than Johnny.
I'm taking water.
As we know, it's better than Johnny being Oprah. Anyway. That being said.
I'm still looking for the brain bleach after that one.
When people say Keanu would do an excellent job as a superhero, sometimes I wonder if they aren't familiar with how superhero-like he already is. Who else can claim to be Neo from The Matrix? This is very true. I need to see
that kid in high school that used to cosplay as him. Yes. Wait, he was. Whoops.
I need to see Keanu in a Marvel movie. I like DC, but I prefer Marvel all day long.
Marvel, baby.
Unless it is a Batman movie, this guy says. Batman rocks. Jesus. And then, so they show the 1999 version of him being Neo. Or no, is he Neo? I don't know if that's Neo. I feel like that's not Neo.
Not 1990, stupid. It's 2000.
And then we got him in 2019. So actually, I'll just share the screen real quick to show it. There we go. Oh, that's wrong thingy. There we go.
Congratulations, you fucked it up.
There it is. That's what he looks. That's what he looks like then, and that's what he looks like now.
He just gained a beard, which most people need in order to become more powerful. The stronger the more radical your beard, the stronger you become.
At least it's not Eminem. No, at least he's not Machine Gun Kelly making.
Machine Gun Jelly?
Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly.
If he gains another 100 pounds.
Fuck, your beard's weird. Your beard's weird. But yeah, what do
people like it because you're small and tiny?
I remember actually seeing that on Jerry Slaughter's page, and you know what? I'm perfectly okay with Keanu Reeves being in both. Why not? Let's go.
I really hope, because I've heard a couple things around there. They want him as Ghost Rider. They want him as Moon Knight. I can't wait for. I hope when he comes back to the DCU, he comes back as Constantine. But give him the look from the comics. Stop attempting to do new and fresh ideas. Just go what's on the fucking page. It's not that hard, boys and girls. Yeah. It's really not that hard.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Because if they do it correctly, and they have him as Constantine, and he does his thing as Constantine, it's done correctly, you're able to do Justice League Dark later on in the future. If you're casting him in a Marvel movie, boys, who would you have him for?
movie.
For Marvel?
Yes. Marvel?
Would it be strange if I said Nova?
Unfortunately, Nova's already taken.
Yeah.
John C. Reilly is Nova.
Oh, right. You're right. Oh, damn.
Maybe
I guess
I don't.
Ghost Rider.
This is gonna be crazy when I say this, but I don't know if he's still a part of it. Daredevil?
He wasn't Daredevil, dumbass.
No, couldn't be Daredevil.
No, because they already attempt to bring the Netflix Daredevil into the Marvel Cinematic Universe somehow.
So I mean, he could have been had Charlie Cox not beaten him to it.
Fair enough.
And James, don't say
never get about
you know, friggin' that John Berthol beat you to the punch.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. That was my only other person I could see him acting.
No, there's a couple. Like, there's a shit ton of Marvel superheroes.
Oh, you know, wait. Actually, there is one possibility if they finally fucking reach a deal with Fox. What about Wolverine?
I couldn't see it. He doesn't. The problem is that.
How tall is he? That's actually an issue. How tall is he? Because we got the height's got.
I believe Keanu's actually about my height.
The problem is, it's not the height isn't the issue. It's the fact I don't see him playing a good Wolverine. It's one of those things you need to have a ferocity and an animal instinct to play Wolverine correctly.
And Keanu Reeves, more often than not, is very low key and subdued.
Yes, in almost every movie that he's in.
I would
unless
say,
you kill his dog, then.
To be honest, though, him in Transformers, he wasn't like that. Although it definitely wasn't animalistic, he definitely was more active in that movie.
I hope they don't turn him into Sentry. Don't turn him into Sentry. Out of all the fucking superheroes to turn him into, don't do Sentry. Sentry's the worst. He's just a shit Superman. That's all he is.
I have a question.
Yeah,
I have an idea for him as a villain.
Oh god, I can't remember his name. Shang-Chi or something?
Oh, God, Shang-Chi. Hold on. I gotta remember how to fucking spell that.
Oh yeah. Because I know that was gonna happen.
I have an idea for him being a villain, maybe. I don't know if it would work, but maybe.
So Shang-Chi has already been announced as somebody, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it right because he's just Bruce Lee. As the Iron Fist, he's just Bruce Lee.
Yeah. So I honestly probably wouldn't put Keanu in the Marvel Universe. I might be, if he went to DC, I might be able to see him.
Nope, I got it. Ready? What? Gambit.
Except Gambit's already taken.
Yeah, Gambit's already taken.
I don't think Gambit's taken.
Now, granted, that particular Gambit, I don't think is canon to the X-Men series.
Because X-Men Origins Wolverine is not canon to the fucking in anybody's canonical universe.
Which is stupid.
If you're gonna have anybody play Gambit that has the hair, the body frame to make it work, to throw the cards, to do all this stuff, to actually use some close quarters combat and fights, it is absolutely 100% Keanu. He has the look to make it work.
All right, I can see your point.
Just ready? Here's what you do. Take a picture of Keanu. This is like an easy one. Take a picture of Keanu. You darken up his eyes, and then you find his irises, and you color them like kind of what we'll call like a maroonish pink, and it will work.
Okay.
What was your idea, Case? For
If I was gonna put him in the DCU, I would probably be able to see him doing. I don't know if you'd have to dye his hair for this, but I could probably see him being the Question.
Well, here's the problem with the Question. He doesn't have a face.
Yeah.
Mm.
Appearance, maybe, Casey, or
In terms of body frame, from what little I remember of the Question, Keanu would probably.
Fuck! Would they make him Namor in the Marvel universe? I hope they don't.
I have an idea.
Another dude that
I don't want him to be the Submariner. Out of all the fucking people to not bring into the Marvel universe, don't bring in the Submariner. He's terrible. He's such a boring character.
I would have to agree with you.
He's so fucking boring.
I have an idea for what he could play.
Go for it.
In the DCU, I'm thinking. I don't know if they've done a Teen Titans yet, but maybe as
they already have a Teen Titans show.
They do,
and it's fucking terrible. It is legitimate garbage.
I was gonna say, I was talking about movie because DC likes to separate.
No, the shows are canon to the DC universe.
That's stupid. Oh man. I didn't know. I was gonna say him being Beast Boy would probably make a lot of sense.
Keanu as Beast Boy?
You high?
I mean, I would see Keanu as Slade, but not Beast Boy of all.
By the way,
Nico, I don't know if the only problem is, would it work?
No, it wouldn't work because you have to fucking color him green.
No, I'm not talking about Beast Boy. I was thinking one of the two, but I was thinking Slade, but I decided against it just because he would have to go bald and shit.
No, he wouldn't.
Slade is not bald.
Slade isn't bald, like at all.
I'm thinking Teen Titans.
Okay, listen. If he's going into the DC universe and you can't get fucking Will Smith back, because honestly, he was a terrible pick for fucking Deadshot. Personal perspective alone. If you're gonna have him appear, and you're gonna do it right, you have him be. You have fucking John Wick here be Deadshot.
He's got the technicality and he's got the precision to kill people.
He was John Wick. There's your answer. He was John Wick.
I'd much rather, that would make more.
I mean, he would look fantastic as Deathstroke, but you would have to do a lot of fucking. You have to do a lot of prosthetic to make him look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't have worked.
If he's going to go, I mean, honestly, he was. Actually, you know who he would be really good as?
What?
In the MCU? What if we could turn Keanu into Doom?
Yeah.
Victor Von Doom.
I can see it.
They've only used the character once in the Marvel in the Marvel cinema universe. Not the cinematic universe, but in the cinema universe, he's only been used, like once. Maybe twice, but I only recall him actually being a major plot point once.
But that's basic. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense if he was more as Doom, because I kind of, especially with his backstory of before he got the whole mask and appearance.
Oh yeah,
because Doom was extremely intelligent, and he kind of almost looked.
Doom's ridiculously intelligent.
Exactly.
We're talking about this, the one guy in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, actually,
comic universe
too. He might be the perfect person for Doom because
I'll say this.
Keanu's a fucking intelligent motherfucker in his own right.
Yeah, well, it's also more the fact that if you have our boy Keanu play, I mean, yeah, he could probably do a good Wolverine. I'm not going to deny him that fact. If he's able to do it right, he's able to do it right. I'm just saying, for personality base, he makes more sense as Victor Von Doom, a cold, calculating son of a bitch who is a nightmare in a fight.
Yeah,
I can see that.
He is a nightmare in a fight for the fact that you don't know if you're fighting him or one of his 15 billion robots that he just built like 4 days ago. You just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, anything's better than fucking... I mean, yeah, anything's better than Constantine. The movie wasn't great in full on.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't give a that movie.
Way too early, I'll tell you that. It's just an awkward-ass movie.
Question.
But, yeah, he would also be good as Moon Knight. I think he'd be very, very good as Moon Knight. You get to play as...
Mr. Fantastic.
Never bring the Fantastic Four back into the MCU. They will never do it. Those characters do not sell, and they don't know how to write them because they are from the 1960s, and their best stories are from the 60s. They just can't find a way to make them interesting now.
True.
And if somebody has a Fantastic Four fan, which is an awkward sentence to say out loud, goes, no, they have some really good storylines, and I'm going to sit there and go, yeah, but I'm not counting the Ultimate Universe.
Dude, you know it's bad when Disney did the Fantastic Four better with the fucking Incredibles.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it. I'm pointing it out there.
You're not wrong. I mean, I just have to... Wait, what? Is Incredibles owned by fucking Disney?
Yep.
The Incredibles are owned by Disney, but the way that they develop their powers...
I think it was animated by Pixar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are a Disney product.
But
you know what I'm psyched about that he's going to be in?
What?
Darth Revan, my dude.
Darth Revan? Oh, yeah.
Keanu Reeves is Darth Revan?
Yeah.
He's going to play as Revan? Damn.
I mean, he's got the look for it, but what?
From everything I've heard, from all the bits and pieces of stuff that's come out, there is a huge thing where he might, for the because they're making a TV series for the fucking Old Republic.
Yes.
Him as Revan is fantastic. And if somebody goes, I don't know what you mean, that doesn't make any fucking sense, James, I'm going to send you a quick image of what Darth Revan looks like in-game. And I want you to splice it somewhere like right here on screen.
Yep. Go for it.
Yeah. Now, is that middle image from 47 Ronin?
Which, by the way, best Star Wars movie I've seen so far. It is literally fucking Star Wars.
What, 47 Ronin?
Look, you watch it, listen, you gotta watch it and go, alright, so I'm gonna get through this whole movie. But keep in the back of your head Chosen One and The Force. And you'll see exactly what I mean with all the goofy shit that's in that movie. Good movie, just really fucking campy and goofy.
Yes. It's a Keanu Reeves movie. That's kind of to be expected.
No, but they should grab him, put him as Darth Revan, do a whole thing where you're going to go over the Old Republic time period, make it 3 movies, and then you're good.
Well, speaking of series, we got Stranger Things and The Last of Us coming up. What do people think?
Okay, so Stranger Things, I watched season 1 and 2. I thought it was very good. It's not a bad show. I think it's a little bit weaker in the second season because of the fact that the kids are a little bit older, and it's kind of one of those things of, okay, where did we leave off last time? It's one of those time jumps that is impossible to do with kids, but hey, what are you going to do?
Third season, I don't know if you watched it or anyone else had watched it, but...
I watched bits and pieces of it. I didn't get to finish it because of the fact that I was just fucking... Life happened.
I finished it, and I have to say, it kind of felt a little bit back. Like
it's the weakest of all the seasons.
They underdeveloped the characters.
Yeah,
and also, they tried to copy Endgame.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
For an example, in Endgame, spoiler, Tony dies, and Stranger Things 3...
I had to get that face at least once, so that way somebody's sitting there going, wait, did he not know? And then it's just like, oh, fuck.
So yeah, Hopper dies in the end of season 3, and then he proceeds to write a letter.
No, they can't. You can't kill Hopper for the simple fact you can't kill characters from A Bug's Life.
Wait, who plays Hopper?
No, it's a stupid fucking joke. Because one of the characters on Stranger Things, his name is Hopper.
And there's a character in Bug's Life named Hopper.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hopper and his men. They killed Hopper in that movie. He was killed by birds.
Oh, Hopper was the bad guy. Okay, I remember him.
Yeah,
he was.
You can't kill Hopper. It's only by birds can he die.
But, yeah.
When the fuck in your life would you expect to hear? And all of a sudden, they started talking about the Pixar movie, Bug's Life. Sorry, the DreamWorks movie, Bug's Life. It's one of the two. It's the same fucking company. They do the exact same work. Continue, Nico.
Better.
Anyway.
I don't understand what you mean. I mean, I was a good leader, you know? I mean, you know, the colony. We got to make sure the colony's okay. No, you don't. Nikos. You don't get it. I'm Christopher Walken. And if I couldn't use my legs, I'd be Christopher Wheelchair. But I want you to hear me out. We got to do everything that's happening right now for the colony. The colony is important.
The colony needs more cowbell.
You see, the colony.
Okay.
I got a question. And how come Sylvester Stallone's in our movie and he has better English than most of the people that happen to be in this film? It's pretty fucking weird, don't you think? Dude, this colony is weird.
Since when did we go from A Bug's Life to The Expendables?
Indy Force. That's the answer to that
Force,
one.
we go off talking. But,
yeah.
I need to watch Ants tonight, I hope you know. I'm going to watch that whole fucking movie just so that way I can sit there and just go.
Good.
It's hilarious, especially when they're doing the ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah, into fucking fighting termites and shit. And then it leads to Christopher Walken going, "My queen, we gotta protect the colony."
Okay.
Christopher Walken that movie.
Just continue. Just continue.
It's so fucking awesome that he's in it. Anyway, so Stranger Things season 4. I hope it's good. That's the only thing I can really say.
Hopper's alive.
Hopper's alive?
Yeah.
So it is true only birds can kill. If he fucking dies by a bird monster in season 4, I'm going to be pretty upset, but also going, did y'all read my story notes? Did y'all read my story notes? I put some notes in the story notes. Besides that, Nikos, we had a little subject from the last number podcast where you went on a little tangent.
HBO series.
You went on a little tizzy and got upsetty spaghetti. And you were pretty fucking mad, dude. I mean, you were pretty upset. I'm going to be doing this with chunks of this review.
Please
because I think it's fucking funny.
Please don't.
Have you become The Last of Us?
I actually found about the TV series like years ago. Like I heard already that they were going to announce it, and it's mainly just going to focus the first game. So
all right, so this is a good series.
This is good Last of Us. This is not Woke of Us.
This is not Woke of Us. This is actual Last.
Okay, hold on though. Who's directing and writing it?
Good question.
Google. Let's go. All right, hold on. Look this up.
Google race is on.
Who is directing?
Is it bad?
Neil Druckmann.
It might be Craig Mazin.
Or no, Neil Druckmann is what I got.
Oh no, he's writing the story, but Craig Mazin's doing the fucking directing.
Wait, Sam Raimi's gonna produce this?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is gonna be some abstract art we're dealing with here.
This is gonna be a fucking train wreck.
Yep.
Listen, it's gonna be done Chernobyl style. And I'm not.
Everyone in the chat right now, please put an F for Last of Us HBO.
Okay. By the way, they released a tweet about this March 8th, which was International Women's Day.
Yeah, this is definitely drunk.
And now you have Ellie, Riley, Tess, Marilyn, and Maria. Maria, whatever, and a few others on the HBO fucking stupid fucking. It's gonna be terrible.
It is. If you want a show on Last of Us, I have a theory. Replay the first game. Just do it episodically.
Or if you want to do it in stupid way of not enjoying a 8, 9, maybe 10-hour game, because it's about 10 hours, right, Nico? She can probably get through it in about 10 hours.
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take, depending on how fast you're going through shit. Dude, looks like James is having some problems on his connection end. Oh,
James, what are you doing?
James, what are you doing?
Gonna protect the colony or something?
You gotta protect the colony. It's crazy. He goes, he's dead. Oh no, James finally. I mean, I could finally do one thing that I've always wanted to do. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jay Hebert, and welcome to my side of things.
Oh no!
First off, let me show you my ass. Give me a second. I just gotta, I gotta take this off and. Man, hold on.
We'll be right back. We're gonna do another commercial break. Bye.
What's up, bitches? Are you tired of being bored during quarantine? Well, to pass the time, check out hundreds of free classic games on PlayEmulator.com. This site offers so many classic titles from the Nintendo Entertainment System, all the way to the Game Boy Color. They also have a huge PSX library, along with an even bigger Sega library. The collection is massive and has hundreds of games, including, but not limited to, Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, the original Streets of Rage, Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man, WWF No Mercy, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Virtual Pro Wrestling, Super Mario 64, F-Zero and F-Zero X, the original Tetris, Contra, WCW NWO Revenge, Doom 64, all Street Fighter 2 titles, Pokemon X and Y, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, the Ultimate Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and much, much more. They also have a small section for MSX including the original Metal Gear. There are also fan-made emulators you can play, including Shadow in Sonic, Mario vs. Sonic.exe, Simpsons Streets of Rage, and a Street Fighter 2 version of Street Fighter 5. Go on PlayEmulator.com and enjoy the fun, fellow gamers, because this shit's super fun, yo. Indy Force approved.
And we're back on the Indy Force. I don't even care. I'm saying a mistake.
Sorry, I fell asleep during the commercial break.
No shit. Okay. So we got a guest on. He was talking about his book on Indy Force Extra #1. He's going to be talking about it here on the main Indy Force podcast. Welcome, Matt Nova. Hello, Matt.
Hi.
How you do?
I'm not doing this again. I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, that's good. Now, so first off, what is the title of your book? And you said you were 3 chapters in last we talked to you. What is the book about? What's the title of the book? Give us some general information.
As of right now, the title of the book is Work in Progress, but currently I have a name picked out or centered around it. Could become a subtitle at some point. It's called The Electric Wasteland.
Not bad.
And it's based around like a 1980s synthwave-esque version of Mad Max, Fallout. Am I forgetting something?
It's your post-apocalyptic Neo world, or Neon world, from what you have been, how you've described it to me.
Right. I just didn't know if I was missing like a post-apocalyptic retro classic.
Not really. I mean, Mad Max is kind of like the big one, unless you're like sitting there going, I want to do Race to the North Star and have my character punch everybody to death.
Same world type, just no fucking one-punch explosions.
You mean the cool shit?
Yeah.
Nah, it's fine. So Matt, why don't you go over just a quick synopsis of what you have so far?
Yes.
So what I have so far is the introduction to at least 3 of the characters. There's the main character. His name is Terry Savage. He meets up with a kid whose family just got killed by a bunch of raiders. The kid's name is Arcade. And essentially what happens is Terry promises the kid he'll take him to the city of the neon lights, which is essentially Miami, like the center of Miami as a whole post-apocalyptic fortified city.
That actually sounds pretty interesting so far. I like that. I mean, you want to know the funny thing is, even though this takes place in 1980s, you might not be too wrong if things continue going on. Considering what's happening in the world now in Miami specifically.
So the city, I already have the city like mapped out in my head. Thing is, I can't really draw it because I got the smooth brain when it comes to drawing.
He's got smooth brain.
It's gonna be like, how do I explain it? The city's not just, think of the Midgar section in Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
As a location in post-apocalyptic Florida.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that.
I can see that.
Yep.
I'm going to be taking aspects from Division, like Tom Clancy game, with like all the raiders and all that stuff, and
right. And this is like are you trying to make this like a novel per se with like graphics in it? Like, what's the best example I can say of this? Because you said it's like you can't draw.
Novel, you mean?
Yeah. Like it's not going to be a comic book, but is it going to be like what's the only
a graphic novel?
Is it a graphic novel?
Yes.
It's a digital novel. There's no graphics in it.
Okay, so just a full-on digital novel. Okay, fair enough. Well, hey, pretty cool.
I'm writing it on Wattpad. Once I get everything done, I'm going to try to copy-paste it onto Microsoft Word and export that to whatever platforms will take it.
Right.
Yep.
How many chapters will this book have?
Yeah.
As much as it needs to finish it, but not too much.
So not Harry Potter length.
God, I hope
absolutely not.
Thank God.
So Matt, the plot of the story is what again?
As of right now, I'm still working on what the big shebang of the story is going to be. I currently have the beginning. And all I know is that I don't want the story to last too long. I want it to be a nice ride down the highway for the reader, but not the fucking like long ass highway. I want it to be like a good amount, gets the point across.
You want your Sunday drive. You definitely don't want your fucking Route 18 on a fucking Tuesday at 6 o'clock in the morning trying to get into the main city, where you're just sitting there in traffic going, "Alrighty, hour 1."
Absolutely.
Let it end.
Like, I want to make room and make a possibility for a sequel story, or like, even make it a trilogy if I end up writing it down that way. But that's only if I write the story to get that possibility.
Alrighty.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now, I do have this one question. You say you're taking some aspects from different games and other forms of mediums, correct?
Correct.
So, I've heard that Cyberpunk 2077 might come out later this year. Will you be taking some aspects from that game and include it in your novel as well?
If I'm still working on it by then, absolutely. Like, the people at CD Projekt Red, I'm going to be having Witcher references in this book, just to let you guys know that.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
But I don't want to put too much Cyberpunk references. Maybe I'll have one mercenary named V who shows up once in a while, but I'm not going to have everything or most things be cyberpunk.
Oh, understandable.
Considering that game takes place in like California.
Well, it also takes place in 2077, so
yeah.
So brain interfacing and all that is in full swing.
Yes.
Looking at you, Valve. I mean, what?
Oh, don't worry, they'll get there at some point.
Well, that's good. You know what? If you do the novel, Matt, you could rest assured that if you have nowhere to put it, but you want to put it somewhere, we can definitely put it on maybe a WordPress and promote it on our show. So if nothing else, we can do that for you.
Yeah, let us know how it goes, brother. We hope to hear more about it as soon as we get more information.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I actually have another character that I neglected to mention.
Yeah,
the first two.
What is his name? Sorry.
I don't have a name for him yet.
But you have the main idea of what the character is.
His work in progress name is Boombox. You'll understand it when I tell you about it. So
right.
I'm already thinking about what he's gonna look like, and it's eerily similar to Barrett.
Holy fuck! You're almost correct on the general design.
Good.
Well, there you go. Fair enough.
Black dude, really big high top fuzz hairstyle. Will Smith, Fresh Prince.
So yeah, almost right on the money. Damn.
He's a cyborg. He's got his body is cybernetically enhanced, and it's how do I explain it? He's got a metal robot body,
right?
Which is
So Cyborg in a way from the DCU or something like that.
Yeah, but less body shaped and more robotic. I want to say he looks a bit like a transformer.
Fair enough.
All right. And one more question I had: who is going to be the intended audience for your book? Is this aimed for young adults? Is this aimed for a junior novelization or something of a higher age group?
Given what I've heard about it, I would probably say more the young adult to adult range, but Matt may have something else in mind.
It's definitely not going to be for kids.
No, definitely not.
I'm going to have Hotline Miami references in this book. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely not for kids. Okay.
Yeah. That answers our question. So would you say it's more 18 to 34 demographic then?
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice. I can't wait to get the chance to read a chapter or two when you finally get some of the major structure going.
Yeah, definitely, Matt. Keep us updated, and if you need some help, what we would like, just never hesitate to ask or message us.
Yep.
And maybe we can help out.
Right. One thing. I'm currently in the works on getting a laptop, so hopefully by Tuesday I'll have one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
So I'll be able to definitely work on it more. So I'll be able to get back to you guys on that soon.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Excellent.
Cool.
Let us know how it goes.
All right.
If you would like,
Keep
you
up
could
the good
stay
work,
on.
man.
If you would like, you could stay on for our final two topics, which are both pieces of gaming news, and then we can end the show off proper.
Yep. On top of the fact that we do have our Indy Force game of the week.
Well,
Yes.
games of the week, because I think each of us is picking one this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's what I put it as game of the week for each one of us.
Yeah. So if you want, Matt, you can stay on and join in the conversation, have some fun with us.
Yep.
I'll be on. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know how often I'll just reply, but I'll definitely put my word in when I can.
Well, I mean, it's basically just imagine it as we usually would talk anyway. It's just that the fact that we're on a podcast now is the only difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
But by the way, before we obviously get to the game of the week for everybody involved, obviously if you guys have enjoyed this video again, and I'll stress it one more time, and I've been doing it after the first commercial break, smash that like button, share it on Facebook, Twitter, and with all your friends. Make sure you leave a comment on the live chat, or if you're watching this later, in the comment section down below, and make sure you follow us on all our social media pages down in the description.
Okay, Sean's View Entertainment.
Yes. With that being said, let's go to the Indy Force game of the week.
Game of the week.
Week.
We need a bumper for that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll get mine done quickly. I mean, I know everybody's going to be like, oh, God, here he goes. For me, it's Super Mario World. It's just super fun. I enjoy the aesthetic of it. I enjoy the gameplay. I just enjoy the characters. I enjoy that it's not like a typical Mario game where it's like he's not just saving the princess, he's saving the Yoshi peoples. I enjoy that.
Yoshi! So happy.
I really enjoy that.
Yoshi.
Just story of Mario. And I like that incarnation of like the Mario story the best, to be honest. And yeah, it's just a really fun play. Even if you've never played a Mario game, I always recommend that that's the first game you play.
It's definitely one of the most difficult because of how much shit you have to get through. It's
100%. But once you get through it, it's really, really fun.
Yep.
Even in the beginning, like even Yoshi's Island, like is usually the best because once you get through those levels, you're like hooked into the game.
Well, Yoshi's Island as a series in general is also very good.
No, I'm talking about like Yoshi's like the first level. I think is Yoshi's Island, and then it goes into
Yoshi's Island is also a sequel to Super Mario World.
Yes.
Yep.
See. So yeah, I'd recommend that, and enjoy
Nice.
Good old fashioned Mario.
Who's next?
I guess I'll go next. Earlier today, I was cleaning out my shed, and I found this game, A Blast from the Past.
That doesn't suck ass.
Toy Story.
For the Nintendo 64. I don't know if you can read that well, but I found a cartridge there. But I did go on the website, playemulator.com, earlier to replay it, and oh man, the memories are flooding back. It was
I have a solution for you.
Nikos.
Project 64. You'll be able to download all of your free ROMs straight to your computer. So that way you're able to just not deal with the hassle and get straight into the gameplay without too much of an issue. You'll have save states and you'll be able to download your local Game Shark to get more stuff done. If you're more comfortable with a controller, or if you're me, you like the keyboard, you can absolutely customize those options and make more different options for yourself open up.
Now, I will warn you, there are some graphical issues on Project 64, but it's not really that
shit
big.
that's obviously going to have graphical issues.
Yeah,
it's stuff that's like,
It's
the frog in this level is glitching, or the skybox sometimes does a phantom mirror image that continues for like a couple seconds. Minor shit that you can easily with and isn't too much of a problem.
Oh,
now,
sure.
Matt, you were about to say something, obviously.
Yes. Now, Nikos, for those people that have the YouTube video in they don't have it open, but they have it playing in the background. What game were you talking about?
I'm sorry, what were you saying? You were kind of cutting out for me.
He was talking about Toy Story 2.
Oh,
No,
Toy Story.
Yeah, I was just wondering what game.
So it was I don't know. It's Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. It's actually one of the first N64 games I've ever played. And
Really?
yeah,
An interesting one to start with.
It's fantastic. It's such a good fucking N64 title.
I don't know what happened to my N64. It's been
Dude, let's be honest. It went like dust and became in the wind. It just things happen.
I found the damn cartridge of the game is just wild.
And now you actually have the ability to play it on Project 64. It's a quick download. It takes you about 10 minutes to set up properly if you want to make sure you have everything all specs ready to go.
Play emulator?
Play
a little bit on the
You can play it on Play Emulator, but if you want the better experience, I always say Play Emulator is better for Atari all the way up to
Super Nintendo, probably.
Probably Super Nintendo / Game Boy Advanced.
Yeah.
And you'll get more bang for your buck getting a ROM and getting an emulator and be able to do more stuff. Absolutely. I'll send you the link.
I was able to play Mario. I was actually able to play Mario 64 on Play Emulator. Actually,
it doesn't run terrible. It's just the fact that if you want something that's, I mean, Casey, for fuck's sake, you were over here, fucking. You were going through Pod Racer. You were able to get. We're talking about 60 frames a second N64 game running at max optimization.
Yeah,
this is very true. So fair enough.
Yes.
With that being said, and you know what, that will be included with Play Emulator, so that way you have a very good library.
Play Project 64, and if you happen to, give them $5, guys. They work their asses off to give a very good product that doesn't have too many bugs or problems. If the creators happen to hear this, just do me one favor. Work on more bugs and allow me to be able to take my Shadow of Empire and be able to play it naturally on the emulator without too many issues, besides having that fucking blinking fog problem that kind of ruins the game a little bit. But hey, when it gets fixed, it gets fixed.
Continuing with you, Nico. So what did you like best about that game? Why is it your game of the week?
I guess it's just more nostalgic to me because being it as the first game I've ever played and just looking back to it earlier, it takes me back on the levels that I couldn't complete back then, and now just learning through the whole process again, it feels much more easier compared to what I was doing back then. And yeah, it's again, not many people would consider a game like a licensed brand for Disney, like Toy Story 2, but
it's very good.
One of those earlier starter games for a young gamer. It's definitely a first.
But you good sir can agree with me. Fuck the elevator level.
Yes.
Fuck the elevator level to its entire heart. It is the worst level of the whole game. It's the equivalent of the sewer level. It is just one of those things that you go, oh God, why? Why would you program it like this?
I think that's why I stopped playing as a kid. I guess.
Yeah, it's the level. It's the level that will test your patience more than any other level in the game. But however, the tight controls, Buzz moving around as good as he can, the climbing aspect of going onto different platforms and doing puzzles and being able to actually progress and go through boss fights and find different ways to defeat these bosses is some interesting and really cool gameplay. And if you haven't played it before, Nikos is giving you the recommendation to now. If you're shit bricking for a computer, if you happen to have a shit bricking for a computer, you play emulator / Project 64 will absolutely work on there.
Yep,
exactly.
How about Matt? Let's go to Matt. Let's go to our guest, Matt. What is your game of the week? It could be anything. What is your recommended game of the week?
I'm not Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm actually not shocked at that.
Why do you recommend that, Matt?
It's a therapy game for me.
Explain what you mean by that.
Like, if I'm feeling upset or if I'm like getting anxious, I'm gonna play Animal Crossing. I'm gonna talk to my villagers. I'm gonna plant down little trees. I'm gonna put down these little flowers, that stuff, and it's just gonna
plant a few happy little trees.
What I'm worrying about.
And so basically, what you're saying is you're just turning into Bob Ross.
As you can see right now, boys and girls, we're not just making some happy little crowds. Hey, get out of my happy little village, you piece of shit. This is my happy little village. I will berate you till you leave.
You better start packing and you're going to get your happy little ass beat.
Anyway, continue, Matt. Sorry.
Essentially, yeah, I guess you could consider it, being Bob Ross of gaming with Animal Crossing.
Yep.
Yeah, minus the meme with it. No, I could see that.
Oh, the meme is absolutely there. The meme has only gotten stronger.
But no, I can see that. I absolutely can see it. I like that. I've heard a lot of raving things about that game, actually, so that's pretty fun.
It came out at the perfect time. it's going to be the game that will be the game of the year for the fact that it came out at the perfect time that it needed to be. Came out for a console.
I wouldn't say it came out at the perfect time. It just came out at the time where people needed it because they're like, oh, this will.
No, I'm saying, no, let's be honest. This game would have sold, and it would have sold really good, but this game's selling way more now and is making way more fucking money because this is the only game that allows you to go outside.
Got a point.
You're not wrong.
I want to go outside and go have a garden or go outside.
The only other game that lets you do it to go outside and do shit is Pokemon Go, and let's be honest, that thing is fucking trash. I'm sorry, it is.
Not true.
Get off my dick.
Well, that's
it's your personal opinion that the game is not good.
Yes, it's
only because you don't. It's only because you suck at playing Pokemon.
No, I'm doing good at that. Here's the problem with it. It takes up so much damn memory on my phone. It has the problem
of being a mobile game and having diminishing returns.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's not the game's fault. It was just developed as a mobile game.
And not just that, but it takes up so much damn room on my phone, and I couldn't keep it. It's just
I can actually relate to that, James.
Yeah, I stopped playing it. I played it for, what would you say, guys, about like almost 2.5 months.
And then I got sick of it.
I fucking cheated. I straight up cheated. I downloaded a fucking joystick onto my phone, and I straight up just left the United States, went to England, and captured all the shit that I wanted to capture. I fucking straight up cheated. I made a dummy account and kept giving myself shit all the time. It was the only way for me to enjoy the game for the fact it's like, okay, I walk about 5.5 miles. What does my Pokemon say? Go fuck yourself, walk 5...
Yeah, exactly. I fucking... And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you go to London, England, there's probably a lot more options for Pokemon, including a fucking Rayquaza. We can't get that here!
We did get that here.
Yeah, we did.
In Boston.
No, we did get that here. It was in Weymouth.
Yeah.
Here.
It had to be during a special event.
Yeah. It was literally right down the street from your house, stupid.
Well, yeah, but it depends on what time it was. Because, I had to download it and re-download it so many times that I probably...
James, you were walking right next to Lillian and I when the raid for the Rayquaza started going on. It was
but you also got to remember, I wasn't on a proper level to do it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Couldn't do it.
But it's fine. I'm just putting it out there that you can't just sit there and be like, I couldn't get a fucking Rayquaza because it requires me going all the way to fucking England. It's like, no, it's because of the fact that it happened.
That is true for some things. There was that really dreadful period of Pokemon Go where all you could get was fucking those stupid birds, the Rattatas, and the freaking what was the grass type like all the fucking time.
Listen, you only get Ekans. Only get Ekans.
So fucking infuriating.
And the squirrel. But anyway, Casey.
I will admit the second time I re-downloaded it was fine, but yeah, fuck that.
Casey, good sir, after you.
Well, Nikos was talking about nostalgia being the motivation for the pick for his game of the week. It is also the motivation for my pick of this my game of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already, I recommend you check out a little indie title known as Streets of Rage 4.
Now, Streets of Rage, if you've never played it before, is a classic Sega franchise, classic side-scroller beat 'em up, where you play as Axel, and of course, the rest
my girl Blaze,
and of course Skate. I don't know if he's happened to be in this newer edition or not. It might be his brother Jones.
I think it is Jones, yeah.
But Streets of Rage 4 looks very interesting. I haven't had the chance to play because of
it plays pretty much exactly like the original. Now, for those of you who don't know, I got into gaming through the Sega Genesis at the age of 4. I think I may have mentioned this on a previous episode.
You have.
But Streets of Rage was one of the first 6 games I ever played on, period. To be perfectly honest. And I have been a Blaze player for 25 years.
And to think Casey's 67 years old.
That's big age.
I certainly feel 67 some days. Let me tell you, it ain't easy delivering mail, even in this
It
day and
ain't
age.
easy being cheesy.
Ain't easy being cheesy.
Anyway.
Fuck, now I want Cheetos. God damn it.
One Family Guy can promote Cheetos better than Cheetos.
It ain't easy getting sleazy. But anyway, please continue.
Fucking drummer better than Neil Park.
Anyway, continue.
You okay, Mike?
I'm just fucking around.
Okay.
But you thought I did. That's the important
I absolutely thought you did. You got me.
Okay, so continue.
Okay. So it plays pretty well, exactly like the classic Streets of Rage. Especially, it's like a perfect mix of the first and second games.
Yep.
A little bit more influence from the second game than there is the first.
Which is honestly the best version because of how fucking good the combat in the second game is.
Yeah, if Blaze's design in this game wasn't a proof of Streets of Rage 2's influence, I don't know what is.
I think it's the equivalent of, it's the Sonic 2 of beat 'em ups.
Yeah,
It's like the sequel did it better.
I have to agree. It feels so good to hit things. I do have to warn you though, if you guys check this out, I'm playing this on easy and I am getting my ass kicked.
So it ain't
because you're not trying hard enough, scrub.
Get good, bitch.
Fucking good. Here's what you do. Always learn how to cancel punches. If Cody did not teach you anything in Final Fight, cancel punches. Or just do what I usually do. Jab, wait, jab, wait, jab, wait. And that usually is all you need.
Yeah, that's fine when there's only one guy on the screen.
No, you can do it with 6 if you're able to line them up correctly.
Which I am not good at.
Well, and then when we now know you're kryptonite, Mr. Gallagher. We know you're fucking kryptonite.
Does not stop me from recommending Streets of Rage 4 as my game of the week. It's just a perfect recreation of the classic 90s beat 'em up. It feels good to hit things, and the combos are just spot on. I highly recommend this to anybody.
And leaving the best for last, Mike. What's your next game of the week this week? Because you were the first one to actually develop the topic. Now you're the last to recommend the game of the week.
Me?
You?
I get a choice?
Yeah.
All right. All fucking retardedness aside, Star Wars Dark Forces. My God. I'll say it here, and I'll say it now. It is the best build engine game that has ever come out for the PlayStation 1, and is fucking fantastic. If you don't know the story, I'll go over it quick. You play as my boy, who was cursed at birth with his name, Kyle Katarn, because his name is Kyle. And you are cursed with the name Kyle. I feel bad for that your parents hated you that much.
Now, imagine if your name is Kyle Tyler.
All right. First off,
Weaver. No, I'm kidding.
Kyle bleeped that last name for governmental reasons.
What are you talking about? That's his name on. He gave.
No. I think he said the other thing. Never mind. So Kyle Katarn, first mission of the game, you go steal the Death Star plans.
Without the Force.
Without the Force, you go and kill 10,000 Space Nancys. I want to see 10,000 Space Nancy skills before the end of the day.
Yeah.
Mike
and I were going back and forth with Inglorious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was like the funniest thing ever.
It was great.
It is such a good game. And right now there's a bundle on Steam if you happen to know or not. It's called the Jedi Knight bundle. You get Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. You get Mysteries of the Sith, which is Mara Jade's game. Hey Disney, remember that fucking character? You also get Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy. If you want the best lightsaber combat, you go Jedi Academy and Jedi Outcast. Those are two of the greatest lightsaber combat simulation games ever made. And if you want your first-person shooting, I will fucking murder every single thing that can live, breathe, or even have a thought in the room. Then you want to play the other 3 titles. I would recommend Dark Forces to anybody that is a Doom fan. It's using the Doom system. It's fantastic. Fun fact, Casey.
Yeah.
Our boy John Carmack might have helped make a little bit of the game.
Would not shock me. Carmack's reverse, man.
Because Carmack is a fucking god. And if you don't know anything about John Carmack, our Lord and Savior, please put his head over my head like this.
God damn.
And there we go. We have that, so that way James could do some work.
Specifically
put his head. That money, boy.
No, specifically, put his head wearing the Oculus Rift
over my head. But yeah, it's a very good game if you want your classic first-person shooter. I would honestly recommend that and Jedi Outcast if you want your classic Star Wars beat, and Kyle Katarn takes shit from fucking nobody. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to give you a quick scene that does happen in Outcast, which is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. He walks into a bar full of gangsters. He walks into a bar full of gangsters to the hut and bounty hunters. What does he do? He walks up and goes, "Time to be inconspicuous." Walks up to a chiss who's the bartender, who kind of talks like this, which is the funniest thing ever because he constantly fucks up all of his words. Trulies, come here for a second. Kyle's trying to get his attention. He takes his lightsaber off his holster and slams it on the bar counter and goes, "Bartender." The guy turns around and whips a fucking drink behind him, and the whole room goes. Alright, we're fucked.
Nice.
And this is one of the first Star Wars games that I know off the top of my head. Remember, I've been around for only so long. That uses a first-person mode when you are wielding your lightsaber, which is fucking awesome to try to cut your opponents asunder. I would recommend, if you get the chance to play it. If you want something classic, go right ahead. If it's not Star Wars based, my other recommendation to you is the classic PlayStation 1 Spider-Man.
Yeah.
My God, that game feels and works incredibly, especially on Project 64. I've had one issue where I can't hit the continue button, but I'm not super worried about it because I was able to get the Game Shark to do level skip in case if something fucking happens, I'm able to go to different levels. Casey?
I have only one thing to say regarding the PS1 era Spider-Man. Hey, you gonna pay for that tower?
Fair.
Is that the one? Is that the game where with the meme where he just falls into the fire? I'm going to die.
No, that's
Spider-Man 3.
That game is like the worst developed Spider-Man game ever made.
Fair enough.
Such trash. No, Spider-Man 1 was made by.
Neversoft. It was Neversoft.
Oh yeah, it was the guys that made Tony Hawk. They made the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series, and they decided to get their hands wet with the Spider-Man game, which leads into Enter Electro, which is even better than the first game.
Which I still have yet to play.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. I'm going to download it when I get the chance. However, this classic Spider-Man game follows the story of who's stealing Doc Ock's shit? You'll never fucking guess who. It was Spider-Man. Spider-Man stealing his shit. We gotta find out. Get me photos of Spider-Man. Wait.
Oh no. Oh god.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man. I need pictures of Spider-Man.
God damn it.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Recap.
And it's also Reno Romano doing the voice of Spider-Man, which is fantastic.
Okay.
Wait, Ray Romano does the... Oh, my...
Yeah, Reno Romano does the voice.
Reno Romano, not Ray. Not Ray. Reno.
Oh, okay.
It's not Ray Romano. He doesn't go around going, I live in Queens. Mary Jane, no, be careful. I love you.
That would be hilarious.
Spidey swing. I live in Queens.
Okay. Recap. A couple 100 feet
Ray
underwater.
Romano would be a better Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay. A couple 100 feet underwater, electrified floors and walls, and deadly turrets pointing straight at me. My day just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, that game's fantastic. Especially the Venom boss fight's super cool. The sewer section. Sewer counter.
Oh, come on, Spider-Wuss. Just one little game up.
Tag!
By the way, do you know who the voice of Venom is for that game?
Is it D. Bradley Baker?
Casey, what is he famous for?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
True. There's also maybe some other things as well.
Quite a few other things.
Quite a few other tidbits, such as Jennifer Hale doing Black Cat, which is fantastic.
Yep.
That would be Darren Norris, who does the voice.
Oh, right.
Darren Norris. And if I remember correctly, Darren Norris, he, what character did he do? Oh, yeah, Cosmo.
Yep.
You know,
brownie things.
Cosmo.
Cosmo is Venom.
Oh, boy.
Cosmo is not just Venom. He is also Mysterio, Scorpion, The Punisher, Johnny Storm, and Captain America.
Wow.
He's officially played more characters than somebody attempting to do a one-man version of the 13 Angry Men. Oh, sorry, 10. Is it 10?
I believe it's 12.
Angry Men, that's what it is. Sorry, I'm not fucking into musicals. Somebody stops right there. Excuse you?
I would like to talk about this more, but if we don't get to the Assassin's Creed thing, I feel like we're not going to have enough time, and this is a long read.
Don't worry about it. Go right ahead.
So, those are our games of the week. Check them out. And Nikos, if you could, read the Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Ass in Creed?
Can we just say one thing before we get started on that?
Why is this series still breathing?
That's a good one, honestly. That's actually better than my question. Mine was going to be, hey, so who remembers when Assassin's Creed was historically accurate and they tried to do things in history?
Semi-historically accurate.
They used history as a backdrop to make a game.
Yeah.
That's fine. But when the fuck do we start fighting Minotaur, the god Ra, and what's next? Is fucking Thor going to appear in the game and go, "'Tis thou understand my way of life? Mighty tornado!" And I'm going, why is he doing Marvel 3 combos in an Assassin's Creed game? Fuck!
Let's just be real here. The only reason why Assassin's Creed is doing the whole Norse mythology angle is because of the success from God of War.
Yeah, because they were 2 years late on the God of War fab of let's do a Norse mythology game.
Yeah. Why not? Nikos, if you could, read away.
Alright, so this article was published on Eurogamer.com by Tom Phillips, news editor. Assassin's Creed Valhalla reshapes the series' RPG storytelling by giving you a Viking settlement. Ubisoft answers our questions on new hero Eivor, Viking Britain, and much more. Ubisoft knows what you think of Vikings. The reputation in history as bloodthirsty invaders interested in Britain only to pillage its riches. And so, in today's reveal trailer for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, this version of history is addressed head-on. You see Vikings and their families spending some quiet, quality time together back home in Norway, where Valhalla's saga begins, and that things weren't so Alfred the Great in Britain either, where the majority of Valhalla actually takes place. Of course, the first trailer barely scratches the surface of the game, and indeed how its portrayal of Vikings, Saxons, and various other groups living in Britain will actually look, though actual footage arrives very soon. Will good old King Alf really be a mustache-twirling pantomime villain? No. Lead producer Julian Lafiere assures me as we settle down to talk Valhalla in detail. Will all Vikings be good guys? No. Again, and I should know this because I took like 3 courses on Vikings, but that's beside the point. But what seems certain is how Valhalla has been entirely shaped by this principle. Vikings were not only invaders, but settlers as well. They were ferocious warriors, yes, but also a group of people with a rich culture, living gods, and huge mythology, all of which Valhalla will explore more in detail. Central to all that will be a new village settlement hub, a home for main character Eivor and their comrades, a familiar starting point for adventures, and a place you'll see your decisions play out. It's another adjustment for a series well past its early transition into RPG territory, Origins, and already able to boast about real mastery of the genre, Odyssey, which
I don't know about that.
Perspective, that's kind of not that true. But
we could tell this guy actually really likes Assassin's Creed. That's all.
Oh yeah, especially you said it was Jeffrey Yohelm.
No, it was Tom Phillips.
Yeah,
Tom Phillips.
Not to be confused with WWE's Tom Phillips, by the way.
Yeah.
Although it wouldn't shock me.
Of which feels like it will fill some of the few remaining blanks in the latter game's formula. So instead of embarking on a never-ending journey to defog all the map, Valhalla's narrative is built around your settlement, and through it, quote-unquote, it's your own Viking village you'll see prosper and grow, and which your clanmates will live in. Lafiera tells me via video call. By the way, when I say me, I'm talking about Tom, not me. Yeah, we want players to see the consequences of their actions. Big story arcs will begin and end here, the impact of your decisions rippling through your growing community. Oh, so basically it's almost like a Telltale game.
Yeah, but... Yeah. Okay, can I give a counter to this so far?
Go ahead.
Yes, I did put up my own idea for an Assassin's Creed story. My own place. And I'm not going to say it's better and I'm not going to say it's worse because we haven't seen the game.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know the story. We don't know what's going on. But if you're going to betray Vikings and you're going to do it correctly, you fucking damn well sure that you have it accurate. They weren't just savages. They weren't just hunters. They weren't just non-stop barbarians.
They were nomads.
Yeah.
They're from Norway. They were farmers. A lot of them had side businesses. They wore chainmail.
They were farmers, merchants. Some of them were slavers.
They were the greatest warriors of their time period for the fact that nobody could beat them. For every single one of them wore chainmail. They had the best armor, the best gear, the best equipment. They were fucking battle hardened and ready to go. They were some of the best warriors because they trained.
They were fucking brutal.
Well, the brutality is overshined for the fact that most of the stories that we know about the Vikings are told from the British.
And if you would digress into mythology, there is no recorded writing of Vikings by the Vikings. It was all in runic inscriptions. Everything that you learned about Vikings were part of scriptures from old clerics of Britain. Through medieval scholars, basically the English created the idea of the Vikings as the bloodthirsty monsters you recognize as.
Yes, but the differentiation is the Viking not only was a battle-hardened warrior that was a terror in combat. One Viking warrior could fucking outshine most in a standard one-on-one combative practice. You put him up against a dude in a suit of knight's armor, he'll know his way to defeat that. He'll know his way to take the armor apart to fully get the guy out of it and beat his ass. But the differentiation is Vikings are, at least in history, in historical accuracy, are some of the most intelligent and smart individuals that you will ever see in history. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they are the biggest liars in history for the fact of, oh yeah, come to Greenland. Come to Greenland.
So
come to Greenland. Come to Greenland. Yeah, let's go to a fucking frozen tundra and we'll just call that Greenland. Why? So we can absolutely screw with every single person on the planet. Hey, you guys want to do a billionaire troll? What do you mean? Let's call this Greenland, and the place that is green, we're going to call that Iceland. Why?
Because fuck you.
Mass confusion. It's our greatest
misdirection.
Okay. Nikos, if you could, read
yes,
the rest
continue.
Sure. You'll see the effects of alliances such as weddings to forge relationship between clans and the consequences of harsh choices you have to face. It's also where you'll see some of the game's romances play out if you choose to indulge in those. It's really changed the shape of the game we were making, Lefier says. Instead of exploring one territory, then moving on to another and having no real opportunity or reason to return, the settlement changes the structure. So you go on an adventure and then be encouraged to come back to your settlement. It changes the way we're playing the game we're making. At least that's the bet we're making. It's not an entirely new concept for the franchise, but it's been a long time since Assassin's Creed tried to give players a proper home. Boats and train rides, Assassin's Creed 3's rather basic homestead is the last good example. It's also a tried and tested idea for the genre. As Lefier speaks, he describes the settlement as a place of importance in Valhalla, reminiscent of Skyhold and the Normandy, which players return to time and again. As you grow your village, new buildings will be able to customize and upgrade, such as a barracks, blacksmith, and tattoo parlor. Interesting. Yesterday's artwork strongly hinted at Valhalla's focus on Britain. Something made clearer by today's trailer, and this is where Ivor's new home will be founded. But you can't have a Viking game without seeing Scandinavia and Norway is the setting for the start of the game. You have to understand where these people are coming from, Lafiere explains. You'll feel the harshness of the lands, the political pressure there at the time. You'll feel all that, and hopefully you'll understand why you have to move to England, where most of the game takes place. Britain will then make up the bulk of the game's map, Lafiere adds, but a few surprise areas will also feature.
Now, here comes the question.
Sure.
When do we get into the goofy mythological nonsense that you know they're going to put in? You know they're going to. They've already called it Valhalla.
Yeah. I mean, based on the trailer,
Odyssey
in Odin.
We had Assassin's Creed Origins, Odyssey, and now Valhalla. You know they're going to be putting in some fucking nonsense that you're going to sit there and go, but why though? I mean, I understand why calling it Valhalla, and I get the whole idea to get that Viking principle around. But I'll say this. Throughout the course of the game, if you never see the Blood Eagle happen once, then your game isn't historically accurate.
Mm-hmm. I might have to...
remind me, the Blood Eagle is a method of killing?
The Blood Eagle is more of a sign. So let me explain. Take individual from local village who is scumbag and or asshole. Pin him up against a fucking post, such as like doing a Triple H pose. Put him in a crucifix style formation, split open his back, and pull his intestines and put him up to his hands in wing formation. Then open up his rib cage and his chest.
In the formation of an eagle. Now, I have read texts saying that there was no real evidence that the Vikings had ever committed a Blood Eagle. There is, however, some proof, you would say, in some poems where the sons of Ragnar, when they found King Aiu, they marked an eagle on his back. They didn't specify
what it was, but
yes, what it was exactly.
It's basically saying that it did happen without
it. Well, okay. We know that there had to have been a formative way for them to say, "We're here. We want you fuckers to know we're here." I mean, the Vikings. You can't. Yes. Very intelligent individuals, the smartest fucking people of their time. That's why they won almost every battle that they were in. That's why if you go to London or go to specifically anywhere in the UK, they'll go, "Do you see that pile of rocks over there yet?" And that's where the Vikings came and kicked our asses.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you see that big pile of rocks that looks like a castle? Yes. Where are we? Germany? And that's where the Vikings came and they fucking kicked our asses.
Let's continue and read the last 6 paragraphs of this, Nikos, and then we'll give our overall thoughts of it.
So, it's in Britain, of course. You'll eventually meet King Alfred, who the trailer paints as the villain of the piece, complete with some Templar-looking artifacts in the background. But Lafiere assures me that Alf will be more of a complex character when you meet him in-game.
But there's a problem with that.
Yeah, wasn't King Alfred, like, an idiot, or was that his... nephew?
No, well, I mean, obviously, but the major issue...
I remember...
No, continue.
Like, I remember reading some of the texts that King Alfred, I don't know if it was the first or third...
Probably the third you're thinking of.
He did not know how to run a country because he was a kid. So, just by looking at this character, I'm thinking it's the first.
So, here's the problem with the game. The game is set in 873.
Yes.
Nikos, do you happen to know off the top of your head when the Knights Templar began?
When the Knights Templar began?
The
actual Knights Templar, I believe, began during the...
In 1119. It was
right around the time of the Third Crusade.
Yes, which would be 1119. They started in 1119, and their headquarters...
1119, that's when it should be the end of the Vikings.
The Vikings, I believe, fully, like, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, they were diminished after Battle
how are their Templar artifacts, if they haven't been around in 300 years?
Yeah.
That's some time traveler shit.
That's some fucking... They don't exist yet till 300 years later. So 300 years later...
They're going to find an excuse.
Yeah, they're going to find an excuse. I agree with that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna find some stupid fucking... Well, this is Assassin's Creed. It doesn't have to follow the base timeline. But Knights Templar didn't... Yeah, exactly. 11-19 is when they first began. And I'm going to just take a quick look. End of the Viking Age... And I want to say that would be 1066. The game takes place in 800, though.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense historically.
The Vikings first appeared in the year 793 on Sack.
That's the first. Yeah, that's the first documented beginning of the Viking Age. And Vikings, from what fucking morons think, the Vikings all disappeared. No, they just became normal human beings and just kind of lived amongst everybody else and just stopped being
Some
Vikings.
did. The rest went to Iceland.
Yep,
and that didn't last for long.
Yep. Yeah, so it's just...
So, let's finish this up and just be quick with it.
Yeah.
Go right ahead, brother.
The game looks set to cover the Viking campaign against him, the one which led to him being on the run, burning cakes, and his eventual success at pushing the Norse back and unifying swaths of England. Alfred the Great is a very important historical figure we want to treat right, Leffier says. And to do so, it's all in the subtleties and nuances you'll find. Now, I wouldn't be so far to say Alfred the Great was a very important historical figure. I mean, there have been other people within the whole Viking mythology that states that, you know, there have been other people that have been converting the Norsemen into Christianity, like take Harold Bluetooth or Harold Finehair that would appear later on. He was the one that would unify all of Norway to becoming one. But Alfred the Great, I guess, from reading after him, I guess his main obsession was just purifying all the Vikings into Christianity, and if they weren't, he would just kill them all.
Can I give a counter to the point, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Sure.
So, okay, just to give the example. So, in this game, which takes place, the Templars appear in the game 246 years prior to their actual existence, correct?
Yes.
Does that mean that that George Washington should already have an iPhone by the time at the Battle of Lexington?
Yeah, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
You don't remember when fucking George Washington came out and he goes, hold on, I'm sending a tweet. And the Boston Tea Party already happened?
Dude, don't you remember the famous part of the Paul Revere quote when he was driving his Lamborghini down the road? 2 honks if by land, 1 if by sea.
Oh, I thought he was too busy sitting in his brand new house watching fucking Netflix while the virus attacked him too.
So my Lamborghini.
You can't change historical events to fit your fucking video game timeline. I don't care.
So,
you know, not to change the subject, but
6 years into the future to bring something back.
Continue, Matt.
Yep.
Speaking of Ubisoft in England, we have gotten no updates on Watch Dogs Legions.
Don't worry about it. Nobody cares.
Don't worry.
I pre-ordered that game.
Yeah, you did for your. Yeah, that's.
Matt, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They're never gonna make it.
Listen. When they tell me, hey, here's a game where everyone's a playable character, yeah, I'm gonna be like, give me some details. It's 2020. What's up?
Yeah, never.
He's not wrong. Here, all right. You know what? Let's just put this out there. Do we even need to read the rest of this article?
No, fuck that. Honestly, this is pissing me off. Honestly, at this point, this fucking stupid historical nonsense is pissing me off. The fact that you cannot have events happen 240 fucking 6 years prior to the actual events in real time. That is the equivalent, and I'm going to put it like this, that is the equivalent of the Minutemen organization in the U.S. colonies when they were doing the fucking Revolutionary War, and all of a sudden we just go, and right now, George Washington is in a hot tub, sitting there next to his Lamborghini, on his fucking iPhone 7, sitting there trying to tweet about trying to get more men. Cometh, if you will, and lend me thou ears, so we can sit here in my jacuzzi and drink a fucking beer. I don't care about you, Ubisoft, and your fucking crippled timeline. I don't give a shit.
If you guys want to see the article, it'll be in the description box below. You can read the rest of it yourself. I can't be asked if they're not going to fucking be historically accurate.
I'm not going to focus on
fucking
the actual lore and mythology of any other mythologies other than Greek, Egyptian, Norse, or if in the future if they decide to make a Japanese. But
hey, really quick, this game will be the 23rd Assassin's Creed.
You know what's sad? Mike? Your Assassin's Creed Japan idea was way more historical.
Because I fucking made sure everything in the timeline of real life continues. I could put Templars in my game, but I'm not fucking going to, because what's the point? Well, we have to discuss the Apple of Eden.
It
gives a shit about that stupid plot point.
I don't give a shit about historical accuracy anyway. Just have the fucking people from The Last of Us or The Woke of Us, to come out and just, help them with another freaking game and have women be some vocal point, even though it wouldn't have happened yet. It's fine. Fuck it. Fuck it.
James.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog can copyright claim this if you mention The Last of Us 2.
They already have, and they haven't copyright claimed this. So if they attempt to, I'll fight the shit out of it and say, well, I'm sorry that your game is fucking terrible and looks like a bad idea. So just
and by the way, you can't. I'm not looking to be fucking scared of fucking people that we talk about and shit that they make public. If they're gonna try to do that, they can't because it's all under fair use. So just to give my example, that means in the Assassin's Creed timeline, Joseph Presley, who is the fucking one of the greatest alchemical fucking chemists in the world, /theorists in the world, who discovers oxygen in 1774, would be able to go, cool, I'm so glad I was able to discover oxygen with my Hubble fucking telescope. Yep. Yep.
Ubisoft,
ladies and gentlemen,
Ubisoft needs to stop trying. You're not.
It's just here's the only one that was historical. The only two games that were historical were Assassin's Creed. No, the three: Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed 3.
That's it.
Yes, I know somebody could sit there and say, but Brotherhood and the Revelations, those are very good as well. They're not bad games. Those are very good games with very good characters, but they weren't fucking with timeline. Things happen that have to happen. You can't have the Revolutionary War without the Battle of Lexington and fucking Concord. Those don't happen unless they actually happen. You can't have the fight about the fucking... If you're gonna do backdrops, do backdrops.
Yeah.
They did the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Fine. You use that as your backdrop to your game. Makes sense. The body count, you can do whatever the hell you want. Don't worry about it. You can absolutely do a high body count in the French Revolution. But the problem comes in is when that game is fucking terrible too. Yeah. These games went from the first Assassin's Creed, a great tech demo. That is a very good tech demo to a free running system in a third-person game. And then the second game made it better, and its sequels made it better, and the third game, I think, is the last good footnote, because fuck Black Flag. I don't even know why we're getting Nerf footballs for Christmas. I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to say this quickly. Ubisoft, there is this tool that you can use. It's called Google. And you can get most, if not all, the facts you need on Google. And then when you're like, maybe we should make a game, stop for like a second and contact a historian that is a professional in the field that you are researching.
And don't just look up on the History Channel show of Vikings. That is not all accurate either.
Yeah.
Okay. It's thing.
Is there really anything else to say? Wait, Matt has something to say. Go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead, Matt. That's what I was trying to say. Go right ahead, Matt.
Sucks is that Ubisoft can make great games. Like, they just need to stop it. They need to cool it with Assassin's Creed because, like, they did everything they could. There's really not much else. Make a Viking game.
It should have ended at the trilogy, honestly.
Like, now it's just RPG
they need to be historically
story.
accurate like they were with the first 3 games.
Yeah, but it's just RPG story games with just the title into it.
Yeah. Instead of just making a new IP that would have been interesting.
True.
Could just easily make the Viking game and just name it Valhalla, and people would be all over it.
Yeah, agreed. I would play it if it was like, oh, well, we're gonna put you in this. No, can I tell you why? And here's my problem with this fucking franchise. It's the one weapon that literally doesn't work or make sense in all these games.
Yeah, what is the weapon? I'm actually gonna look that
No,
up.
it's the hidden blade. The hidden blade doesn't exist in any contextual historical sense. It doesn't fucking exist. Now, yes, you can absolutely have the blade that can curve down, go into the palm, and be able to put it back in to your little sleeve that you have here. But
yeah.
This thing, though, this fucking big
spring-loaded thing?
This
Mike, you keep cutting out, bro. You keep cutting out. I don't know what's going on, but you keep cutting out.
How's that?
All right, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Spring-loaded mechanisms. In time periods where they wouldn't fucking exist yet, the hidden blade doesn't make sense. It looks interesting, and it does look cool. I'm not going to deny that.
Well,
but it doesn't exist yet in the Norse mythology.
No, it doesn't exist at all.
Dude, it's not even close.
I'm saying it right now. It doesn't exist anywhere in history. The hidden blade tool that's from Assassin's Creed 1 doesn't fucking exist. There is no weapon in history that was spring-loaded and could easily shoot out and stop at a certain point. Stop right at the base of the wrist. And then when you close your hand, it goes back in. It's impossible.
Yep.
Because actually, you're going to fucking stab yourself. You're going to do something stupid. Oh, this lovely one. Oh, fuck, I killed her. I didn't even mean to do it. I just killed somebody. I didn't even mean to do it. It goes against the code. Remember when the code was the big thing? The Assassin's Code, where that was like a whole...
Yeah.
The Apple of Eden. Don't worry about it. As I said, if you want to play these games, go from 1, 2, its sequels, and 3. Just do that. Desmond Miles. Now that Miles is dead, they're like, we can do whatever the fuck we want now.
Yeah.
And now the
moral story is
Assassin's Creed India, Assassin's Creed Russia, China. Now we're gonna do the Vikings. Do me a favor. Just fucking research. It's not that hard. It took me about 4 days to compile all this stuff for my idea for an Assassin's Creed game. It took me 4 days of research and back-checking and back-checking and back-checking and back-checking and going through actual weapons that would have existed at the time. That is why in my game, there will not be a hidden blade. Fuck you, I don't want to even make it an Assassin's Creed game. Give me a Japanese game where I finally get to play as a ninja and try to go through a historical event.
Alright, well, Matt's about to go. Matt, if you want to say bye to everybody, you can before we talk about our final
topic. Matt?
Thanks for coming on, brother.
Bean sauce.
Alright, now, let's talk about the final story, because, moral of the story of this game, and I wanted to end it with this. Another historically inaccurate Assassin's Creed game for Christmas in the holiday season this year. Merry Christmas!
And a happy go fuck yourself, Ubisoft. I don't care which branch.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to end this with some good news, because I like ending these with some good news. Indivisible, which is a game made by the talented Lab Zero boys. If you don't know who they are, they're the creators of Skullgirls, one of the greatest Western fighting games ever made. It is super fun.
Read this. I was going to say, you could actually read this, Mike.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't want to read, but that's fine.
Man. We all read an article.
Indivisible is a stunning 2D RPG from the folks behind Skullgirls, which is finally going to be released on Switch. Mike Zamont, lead designer at Lab Zero Games, confirmed, surprisingly, on Twitter, leading up to the big event. I've had the chance to finally play Indivisible after seeing the game and see the alpha build, pre-alpha build, debate a build, all this other shit. I will sit there and tell you it is one of the funnest RPGs I've played in a good chunk of time. It doesn't fuck with you, and it has some surprisingly really good voice actors.
Great.
Matthew Mercer shows up. You have... There's a list. Just go through the fucking list. If you like Star Trek, the main villain is a Star Trek character. It's totally worth playing and going through. Indivisible was an Indiegogo crowdfunding backing game, and we hope them the best at this point. I mean, things that we can say. It will be getting a day one patch when it comes out. So just to let you know that there might be a small bug because of the fact that they're switching from PC to console. And 505 Games is going to help them out a little bit when it comes to the coding. If you don't know who 505 Games is, well, I'll let you know. I remember correctly, I think they did Portable Knights. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head, but I want to say that they made like Book of Demons, which I know is supposed to be coming out, Terraria, and you may also know them for Death Stranding.
Oh. Yeah,
they worked on Death Stranding, so nice. It's nice to have developers backing each other up instead of fucking stabbing each other in the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, they worked on a good chunk of the game. They worked on Brothers. They worked on fucking Payday 2. They have a whole bunch of stuff under their list of games, and they also worked on a little series. Some people may know if you're into horror, Dead by Daylight. So Lab Zero, from a fan that really loves Skullgirls. I mean, fucking, you can thank Sean Maverick for getting me into the game more than anybody else. Big Band is one of the fucking funnest characters to play in a fighting game for how much shit he has in his arsenal, and I would recommend it to you as a fan of RPGs, and you want an RPG that will challenge you just a bit, but is a very good story and an interesting concept. I would go for it, plus the animation. Mwah! It's so good. But, ladies and gentlemen...
So, yeah, if you guys want to check that out, if you want to check out the article for that in full, it's actually by Austin Wood of GamesRadar.com, and it's actually entitled, Abrupt Indivisible Switch Port Was a Shock to Its Fans and Developers, because it was good.
Yes! It's, like, super fucking good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, individuals out there right now, people of concern,
yes, our fans.
Thank you for watching this video. If you happen to have enjoyed the video, please subscribe, do all the fucking nonsense that obviously is just mandatory at this point. It's mandatory. You better do it, even if you sub. Sub again. If you enjoy the content, please come back. We'll be posting another video when we get the chance at some point. But from us at Indy Force to you, we could say this.
We love it. When a plan comes
together.
Woo!